Smash. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Pinky and the Brain. I'm the Brain.
And I'm Pinky?
And he's named that because that particular finger is valued over 300,000. Just kidding, that's ludicrous. Let's usher in today's guest, though. You may have never seen her before, but I'm sure you've heard her, like the wind or an owl calling in the night. And now you may find yourself asking a similar question. Who is our guest? Well, she's the voice of many books, namely Lark and Leather and Lark, Rose in Scythe and Sparrow, and, most recently, for me at least, Odessa in Shield of Sparrow. She also voices the dude in this book that I wasn't aware of until after listening to it, which shows you how talented she is or how stubborn and dumb I am. Probably both, though. So, without further ado, please welcome our guest, who in her last name has the word more, which is fitting because we can't get enough of her voice. Samantha Brentmoor.
Genius intro. Poetry.
You like that?
I did. Every moment of it. That was amazing.
like
Thank
that?
you so much.
Did you get my lyrical reference in the beginning?
Lyrical reference?
About
Yeah.
Pinky and the Brain?
Yeah, Pinky's valued over 300,000. Ludicrous.
Oh.
From the Usher song.
No.
Oh,
didn't get
yeah.
that?
I'm not deep on my Usher canon.
Man, two people
Sorry.
got that reference. Here's what I
Just
do, by the way, Samantha, is I do random references that no one gets in the moment, and then when people listen back to it, they're like, he's so smart.
Does knowing Usher lyrics mean that you're smart? Or
It
just
does
that
right
you-
now.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
going to put it on my resume, and I'm going to say...
Do it.
I'm
Let's see
gonna
what it
say
gets
that
you.
It's not going to get me much. It's going to get me a conversation with you. Well, I already got the conversation.
You already
with
got the
You're
conversation.
here.
No.
It might lose the conversation.
Now she's
actually.
leaving because she
It-
doesn't
Bye.
like Usher.
That
This
was
was
it.
great. See you later.
There was one, I think it was with Bren Weaver, where he made a joke that he was really proud of, and neither her nor I registered it. So for a few seconds, he just smiled at the camera like, that was a great joke.
Yeah. I do a lot of like off the cuff one liners that no one gets in the moment, and then you listen back, you're like, oh, he tried.
Yeah.
But you
here's-
get it. I think that's what matters. Like,
You know what? As long
you're
as I make
loving it.
myself happy,
Yeah.
who cares what other people think? You know what I mean?
Right. That's the way of a narcissist. I love it.
Well, today's episode is called "Calling Out the Narcissism in My Life." and
It
we
is.
have
It's a
special
deep
guest.
episode today.
It's so deep.
It's actually...
It's so deep that it's almost shallow somehow.
Oh, see, that was pretty good.
Because it's shallow. I'm shallow if I'm a narcissist.
Yeah, sure.
You don't have to explain the joke.
It does make it worse when he explains
It was so much worse.
Okay. Wow. Anyway, thanks for being here.
Thanks
Samantha.
for having me. So glad to be here.
I'm not sure why you're here, but I do appreciate the fact.
I mean,
that
you
said
invited
Why
yes.
did you ask me?
Because I wanted you to be here. I'm just saying, like, you didn't.
I
know
think
what
his
you're
point
getting
was
yourself into.
more, I can't believe you took this.
Yeah, there we go.
did
I
this,
can't
like-
believe that you said yes.
You are
To whatever
we're,
this
we're
is.
so grateful to. Yeah, did you watch it first and was like, "Oh Jesus"?
Oh, I did. Yeah, no, I was like, I gotta get on this train wreck. I gotta know what this is about. Like, let's go full chaos mode. I'm here for it.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
we interviewed Bren Weaver, who, by the way, is an awesome human. Shout out to
Love
you.
her so much.
But you are voicing a lot of her books.
It's
And
true.
also, I just found out that you are the narrator, or at least one of them, in her newest book, Tourist Season.
Yeah, we just recorded that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah?
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah, and actually, I just got pickups for it, and I'm a little bit upset because I think this is not a spoiler, but because she's put it in the promos, but there's a raven in the book, and what I didn't know is that ravens can be like taught to like actually mimic human voices very well, and while we were
I didn't
recording,
know that either. Yeah.
I have no idea, but look it up. The videos are crazy. And I was very lucky initially because my co-narrator was given the task of being the raven, and I was like, yes, I don't have to do a bird voice. And then I got pickups, and they were like, no, it has to sound like shockingly just like you, so you have to be the bird. So I have to do all these bird pickups, which
Can you give us, like, just an example of a bird?
absolutely not. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not.
I meant, like, the bird
I'm not
that
gonna
you're-
embarrass
not just a
myself by
random-
doing
I
like
should've-
Polly want a cracker for
I
you.
should have
right
rephrased
now.
that. Not just a random, free-range bird. The bird that you're doing. Like, what does it sound like?
Well, the bird that I'm doing apparently is supposed to sound just like me, but
Oh, okay.
like with
Like-
a little bit of like bird flavor to it. So I'll probably like maybe
What
add
is-
like, some, like croakiness to it, maybe.
Bird flavor. That sounds like what you find in the menu. But what does bird flavor sound like in a voice?
If I had to do my voice through a bird, I would probably like tighten up the voice a little bit and like add a little bit of like a croak to it, but still my voice because it's supposed to like mimic me. I'm not doing it for you right now.
Okay.
I'm
She's
terrified to do.
refusing.
The story was,
That's what I was getting.
I'm
Would you like to
bummed
share
that
with
I
the
have
class?
to do this myself in a booth by myself. I'm certainly not going to do it on a podcast for you
Okay,
guys.
fine. Stop yelling at me. Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So, if I remember correctly, so they can speak, but you have to like. There's something with their vocal cords. You have to like snip it a certain way, and then that's how they like have a really very realistic version of their voice, a human voice.
Do you have to snip it?
You.
You have to circumcise their throats, basically?
It's something with that because I've seen a few of the videos, and they sound better than like parrots. Like
So
Yeah.
you're ruining the bird to make it talk.
I think they can talk a little on their own, but if you want it to sound
You have to
like
torture
human,
If you want it
have
to sound like Morgan Freeman, you have to add some stuff to it. Or take away
I also want to know who figured this out. But I didn't look that part up.
I always
Kinda
wonder
weird.
about who figured out anything that we
That's-
do today. Like who's the first one to milk a cow, and
You
why
know,
is
that's
that
a
not
valid
weird
point.
when he did that? Like, ooh, I'm gonna just try it out. Settle down.
Honestly, I don't know if that's worse. Or the fact that someone was like, "Okay, now drink it."
Well, the baby cows are drinking it. Let's try it out, Billy.
Yeah.
And that's how we have milk now.
Yeah. Well, thank God for curiosity, I guess.
It's always the freaks that solves everything, I guess.
It's true. Thank God for freaks.
Way to judge people, squammy pants. Anywho, once again, thank you for being here.
Yeah. it's
How
great.
did you get into voice narration? If for those of you that don't know, this is a voice narrator. Would you like to tell a little about yourself?
Yeah, so I've been narrating books. Like, I think I narrated my first book in 2014, but I didn't really start, like, narrating a lot until, like, 2018-ish. But I came into books kind of, like, in a weird avenue that doesn't really exist anymore. So when people ask for, like, advice on how to get in, I feel bad because you can't do the way that I did, which was I was running a theater in New York and trying to survive on, like, $20,000 a year, which is not really possible. So
Not in
I
New
was
York,
picking up some extra work, and a friend hooked me up with some auditions for some radio work. So like, car commercials, but also like, like breakfast morning shows when it's like, hi, I'm Stacy, and I think Jared's cheating on me. Ask him who he's going to send flowers to, like, that whole bit. So like I would
thought it
call
did,
in
but
and
no.
pretend to be Stacy and, all of those like morning show bits. And
Are you
I didn't have a
telling me
studio
it's
for
not
that stuff.
real?
Sorry, spoilers.
Art is a lie, disclaimer.
Everything is a lie. I don't even want to do this podcast anymore.
So I needed studios to go to because I couldn't record like commercials and stuff. I didn't have a home studio, and I had friends that were like directing cartoons and video games and stuff. So I would sneak into their studios before their session started, and while I was there, the producer would be like, "Oh, well, you're an actor who's here. Also throw in an audition for XYZ." So that's how I like did like a stint on like Pokemon for a little bit. I did some video games and stuff. And then one of the studios I went to was producing audiobooks, and they had me audition for a romance book. And for a long time, my VO was just like on the side of other stuff. And then in 2018, I moved to be the director of production for an audiobook studio that I'm still with. And I spent like the first 2 years mostly doing post-production and directing stuff and not narrating that much. And then the pandemic hit, and I got a home studio, and work exploded. Like the industry really changed. And so then I just started picking up more and more books, and particularly romance, because like that genre in particular saw a real boom in the last 5 years or so.
People got real lonely locked in houses.
People got real lonely, like, well, and also like the indie like production pipeline was really big there. That was a lot of the stuff that was being written and consumed. So yeah, and I love romance books, so they're really fun to do. I do all genres, but all my romance stuff is as Samantha Brentmoor.
Nice. Well, you have become, I think, one of my favorite female narrators, just so you know.
Steven.
I do like the way your voice sounds. And I mentioned this in the intro. When you did Shield of Sparrows, I did not know you were the Guardian voice. Yeah. I was kind of curious in the beginning. Like, it kind of sounds like her, but it also kind of sounds like a dude. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's another guy. Plus, on the front of the audiobook, it had two names. And I was like, okay, I guess this is the other name. But the other name is not till the last chapter.
Yeah, he's only in the epilogue.
So I just figured it was two people. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. And then I found out it was you. So...
God, you're
crazy.
Yeah, you also fell into the like I've got like tagged in a lot of stuff that was very similar to you, which is like, yeah, I like the female narrator. I don't know how I feel about the male narrator.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm really good friends with Jason Clark. I've done a ton of books with him. He works out of my studio. And I was like, I feel really bad. I feel like I'm giving you a bad name because people think that you are doing this. And I was like, obviously they get to the epilogue and they know it's not him. But
Yeah.
also, dude, like you said you didn't, you were like, I don't know how I feel about this guy.
Yeah, I
Why
did say
is
that.
it better once you find out it's a
Because-
woman doing it?
It's not that it's a woman doing it, it's that you're doing it. And I couldn't tell the difference. So that was interesting to me. Because my critique was it kind of sounds a little bit too feminine for this
Oh, I see,
dark
I
and
see.
brooding character.
Uh-huh.
But then when I found out it was you, I was like, okay, that makes sense why it would
Right.
sound like that. But it's also awesome that you're doing both voices, and I didn't know.
Got it. Okay.
Not that it's
Now I
a
gotta
woman,
listen
but
to that.
just
Okay.
few
No.
specific-
I just thought that you were like, oh, I hate this Guardian voice, but it was that the guy you thought a man was doing a
Yeah,
more
yeah.
effeminate voice, and then you're like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
no, this one.
I thought it was an artistic choice from a dude to
Okay,
make him
okay,
sound
okay.
like that. And I was like, this is an interesting male
Bold choice.
Because usually they're like,
This is an
"I'm a
interesting
guy."
choice.
So, but it wasn't like that. So,
How
but
do
also,
you guys feel about, as men that listen to these books? How do you feel about the like male romance narrator growl voice?
I don't get it personally, but
Oh, I do.
I'm also not the target market. So
I'm straight and I'm like, that's hot. I'm down
Are
for
you?
this. It's great. It makes sense. Listen,
sure?
I hang out with Corvin now, like not regularly, like a couple of times, and every time I'm like,
Would you
dude,
say that
this
you're
is
seeing
just-
each other? Is that what you're telling me? right
We did share a bed that one time at a Polycon, so
now? Yeah, well,
he did shit. But yeah, I'm like the dude's. It's. I wouldn't say I'm like I'm not turned on by it, but I'm like it's captivating in the way
you're
that
turned up by it.
I'm like the way that they can do things. I'm like, dude, that's just.
I-
I buy it. I guess is the thing where like a dude in real life, if he growled or whatever at a woman, the girl would be like, okay. But in
Well,
the books, they do it, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
no, I
yeah.
buy that. Like I can see that working. So
Some male narrators, I feel like they're trying too hard, and they just sound like I've said this before, but they sound like the embodiment of a creaky door. But some of them are just more natural. Like when we chat, do you know who Corvin King is?
Yeah.
So we chatted with him, and I liked his voice. It seemed a little bit more natural, and it didn't seem like he was trying to fabricate it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these guys you talk to and you're like, oh, you just sound like that all the time. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I think Corvin has that voice. I'm trying to think. There's a few of them that have just like insanely deep voices naturally, and I'm
I like the voice.
And
And
that-
it was in Leather and Lark. Oh, I guess it was in Scythe and Sparrow too. Eric Nolan, is that
Eric
who that
Nolan.
Yeah, that guy.
was? Okay, well, you're saying that in jest, I believe. But
Oh yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I was gonna
Well,
say I
you heard it
like
here.
Eric.
Samantha has some beef with Eric Nolan. This is going to be a clip for the reels.
Yeah, please do it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that to his face though. He's a giant. I'm not doing that at
Is he?
all.
How
Oh
tall
yeah,
is he?
He's your height, but like big.
What are you
So,
saying? He's your height, but he's not a
you're
pencil.
skinny.
Okay.
He's a Viking, so
You're
like
a-
he plays a
right.
Viking in movies, and he's your height, and you're already huge and skinny. Like him and big is terrifying.
I'm not skinny. I'm lanky.
Okay, whatever, Steven. So you do other things besides voice acting?
I still produce, so
Okay.
so I'm still producing audiobooks, but just producing. And I left my other day job in 2018 to do production in just VO.
Cool.
Would you say that you're currently living your dream?
Whew, I don't know. The dream is always changing, but life is a dream, and I feel
Calm down, Oprah.
no. I mean, I feel really lucky to do this work. I feel like every year, I'm like getting to work on different books and with different people that I wouldn't have imagined that I would. So yeah, it's really pretty great.
I love it. Can you run me through or us through your process of how you choose how you're going to talk for certain characters, or how does that go? Whenever you are presented a book or a character, what do you do to get into that mode?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just like kind of a combination of what's on the page, and taking cues from the author, and then just what I have in my own toolbox. I mean, at this point, I've done enough books and I've been narrating long enough that I kind of know my whole like wheel of tools that I can like play with for my voice, and whether or not how much of that is like the attitude and how much of that is technical stuff like melody and pitch and like gravel in the throat. And I really just try to get a sense from what the author has given us on the page, because a lot of times authors will tell you explicitly like what they sound like. And sometimes they'll give you something really poetic and vague, like his voice sounded like whiskey over cold ice, and you're like, well, okay, so it's clinking, or
What does that sound like? It's just rattling ice sounds. Like,
yeah. So yeah, I mean, and I think you get like as I read through and I'm like prepping, I'm getting like the shape of the book, and a sense of that. You'll get a sense of like, oh, okay, they're kind of like the comic relief, or they're very clearly being set up. Like a lot of times the small town stuff like is very clear, like, oh, you're getting set up for your own book. So you don't want to do anything like too wild, like, you know, so that somebody is really thrown off when they step into it.
This is off topic, but have you ever listened to this book 3? Well, technically book 1 of Throne of Glass. It's the prequel. There's a character in that book. What's the name of that book?
Assassin's Blade.
Assassin's Blade, thank you. There's a character in that book, and for some reason, the artistic choice of the narrator decided to be a hillbilly or a redneck accent, and she talks like Ansel. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember.
Have you ever listened to that? Some like 2 people out there know what I'm talking about.
I mean, a lot of people know
the Assassin's Blade as I drop my candle.
But I didn't do the
audio.
I don't
But it
remember
still
that
had a character. It still had a pocket. Like everybody else has just, you know.
Listen,
normal
man, sometimes you just reach for an accent because you got to mix it up.
There's
And you're
Ansel
just
out
like,
there.
well, okay.
She's like, Dad Gilman, I'm an assassin too.
Also, you don't know. You could have gotten a really weird. There's certainly notes that I've gotten from a publisher or producer that I'm like, we really want. Okay.
What is the most off the wall then, if
Yeah,
I
that's
may
gonna be-
ask?
Oh, it's usually regarded. I once I did a fantasy series, and the note I got was, well, it's a fantasy world, so like it's not actually any specific accents. And I was like, okay, but in the book there's a lot of commentary about like, oh, they're lilting this or they're whatever. So did you have something in mind that you're referencing? And it was, well, I want like a Welsh but Irish but also kind of Northern English accent. And I was like, that is 3 very different dialects.
those are not the same.
And then they also
That's
talked to a population that were like on another island that were Russian and Middle Eastern, which is not, where are you meeting on that? So, and I was like, okay, well, like I'll come up with something. I mean, good news in that situation is, well, you can't get it wrong because it's a made up dialect.
It doesn't
Doesn't
exist.
exist.
It's not
But
even-
like bad news is that for you, the listener, you're coded to think, what are they trying to do here? Is she trying to do Irish? Is she trying like I can't have a conversation with the listener and be like, no, you don't understand. They told me to give it like a dash of Welsh.
Just do a
and,
preface
like,
before you
yeah,
read the book.
exactly.
The beginning of the chapter is like, just so you know,
Just to
this
cover
is
yourself.
not my
Right.
Irish accent. I can do a much better
That's why you
one.
kind of have to like lean out, I find, like with some of this stuff. Like I feel like on the ear, it's always easier if you do like less is more. And if I think it's much better if somebody gives you like a very slight, like, you know, if I'm just doing like a Southern accent, like just, you know, giving you like, we're talking about things and stuff like that. Like, but if you go real hard on it, that's hard on your ear. And you're just like, well, that's not, nobody talks like that. And like, nobody wants to listen to that for a really long time.
Less is more, and more is spelled with M-O-O-R. Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
it.
That
There
should be
was
your
a-
tagline.
Less is more
Samantha
and more is...
Brentmoor. Less is more, and more is... That's too long. It's too long. You can't put
too
that on
long
a
for a
shirt, and if you did,
tagline.
you'd have to
No,
get too
no,
close
no.
to read it. Let me ask you this. Whenever you do these audiobooks, do you read it before you do it live?
Yeah, for the most part.
Or before you, like, do the audio?
Yeah, I have a prepper that I work with. So I always at least like speed read to get like the shape of a book. And then if it's like a more complicated like fantasy, I'll have my prepper do like a full chart of characters for me, and like a chapter by chapter summary so that I've got that reference, and like any notes that are in there, like if they only pop in for just a brief second, or if what their age is or whatever, so that as I'm choosing voices, I know, oh, this guy was just a guard once. And he's just a nobody.
I could just say whatever I
This is
want.
a
I
no
can make him
effort.
Southern.
I can make him so. If you know anything about me, all the voices I have, by the way, Samantha, are just Southern voices. If I try to make a voice, it just ends up sounding like
It's always the same
Yeah.
voice. I don't
It's
know.
all like a weird, like pappy.
It's my comfort, okay, Swammy?
It's like Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption, but not entirely. It's like
But
it's
skinnier, I guess.
it's a modern plumbing version of Arthur
Modern
Morgan.
plumbing.
His life wasn't that
As
hard.
opposed to, classic plumbing or whatever.
Well, they
Outhouse,
didn't have
you know,
they had
yeah.
outhouses back then, Stephen.
Then
The
just say
joke was that
plumbing.
your life was not that hard compared to Arthur Morgan, so you don't have the entire gruffness.
That's true.
It's
I need
just not. It's just not there.
I need to make my life harder, apparently, to be
You need to
cooler.
go out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll come out there with a revolver every couple of days and just fire in the air, make you go on edge.
Do you even know how to work a revolver?
He'll learn for this exercise. He's dedicated,
The
man.
silence is deafening right now.
I do
Did you
not.
say
Yeah,
he'll learn?
just to teach you
For this
some
one
grit,
purpose.
man.
Just to teach you some grit. That's right.
I'm gonna go to a gun range and be like, okay, I don't actually need to learn,
But I
this
do
is
need
what
to
I'm gonna
scare
do
the
with it.
shit out of my friend. So
You know what? Maybe I'll just get blanks, Steven.
Why are you
don't
taping a
have to-
picture of a guy's face to this target over here? You'll find out later.
Just like,
fine.
no, I have to shoot, but I have to be near him. I can't actually hit him because I need him for the podcast. But that's
I think
Yeah,
that'll go
that's
well.
what's
Well, that'll be our next episode.
Yeah,
Did he
great.
survive? We'll just
Did
call it that.
he
Episode
survive?
11. Did he survive? And if I didn't, it's just you on it.
But did you die? Is the question.
But did you? All right, I've asked all the questions at this point. Kramer, you have any more questions? I have a
do.
bunch more, but I don't want
I
to take
have
from your,
questions.
what
You know,
wanna
I do have
Mm.
questions actually. So do you have a favorite book that you have done? I feel like it's probably a common one.
That
but-
is a common one, and it's like an impossible one because I like them all for like different reasons. Like the three that you just brought up are like three of my favorites, but they're all pretty different, and I love them for very different reasons.
Is there like a character that you have read for that you identify the most with?
Ooh. This is also an unsatisfying, like lame actor answer, but I try to find because I record so much, like just volume, and to try to stay like connected and interested and creatively fulfilled, I try to find something in all of them that that I can connect to, that can ground it in some truth, even the most absurd ones. So there's a little bit of me. I find a little bit of me in like all of them. I think that there was stuff in those Bren books. I was messaging her when we were working on them because there were just like little basic things, like I used to be a cellist, so like in Leather and Lark I was like, oh, like this is so crazy, and I was like, and also like I'm obsessed with like resin art craft, and I was like, oh, so this is like very surface stuff that like I have.
I also used to murder
Yeah,
people.
I love.
It's like she looks at her table and she's like, "There's a dude in that one. Actually, this is crazy."
Great. It really brings the room together. So yeah.
Honestly, I've been trying to get into it, but the materials are so hard to get. I just
Well, that's why you're going to the gun range. It's gonna help you out.
Hey guys, he's like, "What? You missed? Your aim is horrible. You hit Dave." It's like, yeah, but can I
Harry, you're
borrow him?"
alive. You're a
It's like-
horrible shot.
Yeah.
No, not that movie.
No,
reference
man,
either.
no,
No.
it's just you.
This-
It's just you.
You do
Dumb
this
and Dumber.
every-
Dumb and Dumber. Everybody knows Dumb and Dumber.
I
Not
haven't seen
like
the
you
movie,
do.
and oh yeah, apparently.
Not on the level.
I'm
is-
being judged for being a man of culture.
oh my
Dumb and
God.
Dumber's not culture. I
Usher and Dumb and Dumber
I just
are
tried
the
to-
things that we're holding up as.
You know what?
Like,
3 people
all-
are going to get that reference.
All of the
so-
authors or all of the comments are gonna be like, "God, Steven is so cultured."
He's so cultured. Look at his cool necklace. Ugh.
I'm also wearing a necklace, but I keep mine in my shirt.
Yeah, you keep
I'm
it
not-
in so it pokes out, and everybody always has a comment. I can see his necklace poking out, like it's cleavage or something. Calm down,
Ooh.
viewer.
It's Hermes because I get to be Hermes at the end of the month.
Oh, it's on her. Wait, what? Is
It's
Hermes on it?
Yeah, that's what's on the pen.
What are you doing? What does that mean? You get to be Hermes at the end of the month.
I get to go deliver messages
Out of
to the gods,
context, that is
obviously.
funny. Yeah.
No, we have an event in Danville, Virginia. It's the Mount Olympus, so we're Greek gods. I got Hermes.
That is very cool.
Guess what I
Yes.
am?
Wait, you're at this event as well?
Yeah, he's also gonna be there.
Yeah.
Is it like a cosplay event?
We get
It's a
hired
ball.
to be characters, but it is a ball. It's a
Yeah.
Got
fantasy
it. So
ball,
it's not like a full LARP event, but it's like a ball, and you guys are going to be some of the people.
No,
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
there's like a cast. So like I think there's 8 of us.
Is there like a storyline you guys
Hey,
have
yeah.
to like do the whole time, or no? You just
Sometimes, not on this particular one.
Yeah,
We're
sometimes
just
not this
in
one.
character and having fun with the
Okay,
peeps.
sorry. Which god are you?
I'm Zeusy Boosy.
You have to be the cool one.
Wow. How did you get that?
Well, you know, when I tower over Squamer, it just fits. You know what I mean?
I
Tower over and
He
like
does.
fall, right? Because he's like really thin or something. Like he can't on his
I'm not
stick
super
legs
thin.
or
Stop
something.
yelling at me, Squamer.
You're-
You're making me sound like if I stood up right now, I'd disappear. If I turned
Kind of
sideways,
sounded
oh,
like
he's a
it.
piece of
He
paper.
was you definitely were like a
You're-
paper man.
I mean, you've got your muscles, your arms look great lately, bud. That's
Yeah.
That's even
is a
weirder. So
compliment
he's just
sandwich,
like a
isn't it?
tall stick man with biceps.
it's
I
like he
don't,
could.
this is my.
I'm not trying to objectify
usually-
you. I'm just trying to understand.
Okay,
Way to
Steven,
body
give it a
shame
good-
me.
Give it a
I'm
good.
being body shamed right now. Thanks a lot, Squammy Pants.
That is my whole goal, actually. This is all I do.
No, this is
you
good.
make fun
'cause
of me
usually
for
it's-
being
yeah,
short.
usually it's
so-
me picking on you, and now I get to. I don't like it as much when it's me.
Oh,
though.
wow.
Which is ironic because I'm not short. That's the fun part.
You're not short. You're not short.
When people meet me, they're always like, "You're a lot taller." And then I was like, "Yeah, it's because Steven's 6'4". So when I stand next to him,
6'4" is tall.
I mean,
6'4" is not that tall though.
man.
6'4" isn't that tall?
Well, if you're an athlete, it's like a normal height. And I'm not an
Okay.
athlete.
The average population's, I think the average guy is like 5'9" and a half.
Yeah.
In what? Bowling?
In life.
Oh, I thought you meant in
Also,
athletes.
do you
I'm
just like
that's not
hang
true.
out with professional athletes? Is that like your?
Yeah, Steven's
No,
the
but if you
short
watch
one.
them on television, like, oh, they're normal height. Then you see
Oh,
them. they're
wow,
Like
if you
6'6".
I just
see
love that
a
you're
1% of the
comp- Yeah,
population.
exactly. It's like, well, listen, like if you're a pro athlete,
I mean,
I'm just normal.
that's what he sounds. He's like, me and LeBron are gonna hang out next
No,
week.
LeBron is like almost 7 foot.
Yeah, but still, the way you phrased it made it sound like that's your normal
Yeah.
hangout. Like,
Hey, LeBron. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in the room right now. You want to pan around and show him to you?
dude,
Okay, I don't
wouldn't
know.
this shock be on us if he was like,
would.
no, man, I don't want to be on camera right now.
It's really just a cardboard cutout. And I keep it in my room for.
It would be
reasons.
even
Let's
better if
continue
you
the
panned and there was a
conversation with
cardboard
Samantha.
cutout of LeBron.
Oh.
That would be amazing.
He's been
Well, I
waiting
know
to
what I'm gonna
mention.
get next time.
He's been waiting for someone to naturally bring it up so he can
Yeah,
pan
finally,
around.
finally.
Finally, this is my chance. Dang it.
LeBron, you and me, bud.
You and me.
Oh my gosh.
No, Steven. Although ironically, I say that you're crazy tall and that's super abnormal, but all of my friends are tall, like really tall. Like Shane's 6'3.5", Chris is 6'2.5".
I like how you had halves.
They
cute.
They at this point it matters, I guess. But
I feel
you're
like
6'4".
most men add the half.
I'm a 5'11" and 3/4.
Wow.
Probably not to their.
Quarter.
Well, never mind.
I do that because if I say 6 foot on the internet, everyone's like, so you're 5'9". Got it. And I'm like, no, I'm almost
That
6
is true.
foot.
Yeah.
But I don't want to, yeah, because you put on Tinder 6 foot,
Just
everyone's like,
fluff
so
your hair
5'8". Yeah, just like,
Are you on Tinder?
no. But
No.
I love that the 3/4 in your
Grinder.
mind is making you more trustworthy. When the 3/4 to me, if it's just like, yeah, I'm 5'11", 3/4, be like, wow, you were really paying attention to this. This is like,
He's so honest.
listen, those 3/4 are important.
listen, every 1/4 inch counts.
I've
learned anything from these
every
books.
1/4 inch matters. That's well, no, because they're like 8. They're like 8 to 12 inches. It's like they're just rocking it. So
Well, and most of these books, they're unrealistically tall, and the females are unrealistically short.
Yes.
And it's like you're gonna die, lady. What are you doing with this giant of a
People like
human?
the
I
size
feel like
difference.
the fantasy.
what
Yeah,
it is? Yeah.
the fantasy books. It's like he was 7'2", she was 4'10". It's like,
And the schlong was the size of a Mini Cooper. Like, okay, you're gonna crush everything you touch.
yeah, it's like it's her entire torso. How's that gonna work? I don't.
Magic.
Magic. That's right.
That's what they use the magic
Yeah.
for. Actually, it's
yes,
not.
absolutely.
I think there is specifically a book where he uses his magic for that purpose. I don't know
I'm
what it
sure
is,
there's
but people
many
have
of
told me
them.
before. That's fair, but I know there is one. I don't know. Someone in the comments is gonna be like, "Oh, it's my favorite." And it's this book.
Right after they yell at me for the wrong movie references. What is your favorite genre of book? You mentioned romance. Is it romance?
I do think that there is some of the more interesting stuff that I've been narrating is happening in romance. I think that especially this year, I've been noticing a lot of writers are like using the genre in very interesting ways. Not to say that every genre.
How so?
Well, I think that like Bren, for example, I think like you could take those books at a surface and be like, oh yeah, like isn't it so wild? There's fingers in glitter jars and like whoa, wacky. But like really, she's using like horror and like as metaphor to have like a really interesting conversation about how like women, but also men, feel like they have to glitter over and make palatable like the dark parts of themselves because they think that people aren't going to accept it. And so like you get to like, yes, you get to laugh and you get to be like grossed out on this stuff, but she's really using those tropes and those ideas to like have like a bigger conversation. And I find when I meet readers from the romance genre that the people who are like really digesting them and the writers that are doing some interesting things here, I think are really actually getting to reflect on themselves and their relationships and themselves in the world in a way that like I think books are meant to in a way. Not to say that there's not like just fun trash and there's not just like, you know, stuff that we're having a good time in, but I think that there is a lot of interesting turning on its head, playing around with the genre. And if it's not that, like I like reading like sci-fi and like some speculative fiction stuff for fun. I haven't had the chance to narrate as much of it, but yeah, I like sci-fi.
So
That's
were you a
interesting.
heavy reader before you started doing the books or the voice acting?
I was, and then had like fallen off and got into like graphic novels for a while, just for like attention span reasons. And then and then I started like narrating books, and I was like, oh, okay, like this is a skill that I can like reading, because prepping the books helped kind of reinvigorate my own personal reading for a while, because I was like, oh, I can read these. Like I like trained my brain to like read faster. And
So do you when you're doing, because you don't always read ahead, right? So do you ever get to like a moment where like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming, and then you gotta keep composure? Because I feel like I would do that. I'd be like, oh no way.
yeah,
Oh wait, I gotta say that.
Keep it in. It sounds good.
I mean, I do at least skim every book before I go through it, and I am able to like, you know, again, because I've read so much, like I definitely have like a speed reading, but I don't do that like detailed. Sometimes I'll hire my prepper to do like the detailed prep, but I think there's some moments that I'll eyeball read that once I'm in it and narrating it, it hits harder than I expected. And sometimes that's like a oh shit moment in the booth where I was like, oh yeah, like I knew intellectually that happened, but when you're reading it aloud, it's like more intense. Like I had to just recently put buried alive on like I will not narrate trigger warning, because like I have a personal fear of being buried alive, and it came up in a book and I was like, narrating, I'm sure it's fine, it's like whatever. But there was something about reading it in first person, and it was like a very intense chapter because she was like buried alive for a while, and I was like, no, I don't want to go there. That was surprisingly intense. I was not expecting that to be as intense.
Did you ever see that movie Buried with Ryan Reynolds?
No.
She just
Yeah,
she has a
I
fear
would
of this. You
avoid
think
that
she's gonna be
content
like,
in
oh
general.
hell yeah.
I mean, it was like
Movie.
from 15 years ago, so maybe that was pre-fear. I don't know.
No, I've always
Maybe
really
that was what caused the fear. I'm not just stop yelling at me, Squimmer.
no, I've always really
Never mind,
not been
never
into
mind.
it.
Let's just bury that conversation then.
I've never
No,
been
no.
into
Let's
being
be
buried alive.
insensitive to things that I put up on my fears. Keep on going, Steven.
My bad. Now I'm the jerk again. Okay.
But yeah.
He's gonna text me about
Yeah.
this later and be like, do you think I actually have
No, I do this to Squammer all the time. We'll go to events, and then after the event's
all
over,
the
I'm
time.
like, they all hated it, didn't they? No, they didn't. Shut up. It's fine.
Yeah, one time I did have to. He's like, I think I upset this
And Sam
person.
was like,
So
no, I really
texted
do
No, I
hate
know.
it.
person.
I
I was
hate
like,
you, but that's okay.
Yeah,
See,
that's what it is.
I can,
No,
I can
what
see
is
it.
that about? Like I do that. I overthink stuff all the time. Every interaction I have, I'm like, even like text messages. I'll be like, I'll reread and be like, oh, I don't.
Oh, yeah. Or if I'll say something that's just normal and they won't respond, and they have been responding, I'm like, that's the nail in the camel's back, or whatever it is. The straw off the man's face.
Yeah, I think it's the straw off the man's
Having a
face.
full
apparently.
conversation, and then it's just like,
That
hey, you
was
want to
it.
hang out later? And then you don't hear anything. It's like, well,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
it. That was
it.
that was
I
too
offended
much.
them.
Crossed
Maybe
the
they don't
line.
like the way I said that.
Cross the line. I tried to extend my friendship, and they hated it.
No, I'm surprised this Squammer is still my friend, because I'm just a
Oh my god.
freaking buzzkill. Generally speaking at events, I'm like, oh my, did I say the wrong thing? Well, you're saying the wrong thing now. Okay, stop it.
I don't think you're a buzzkill. You did have one time that you were a little down, and I was like, okay, do you want me to be quiet, or are you going to talk the entire time so you forget about it? And you were like,
Oh, was that the one, the first one?
I'm not going to put your business out there, but I was just
Like
gonna
you
bring
got
up
in your
some
head, or you
specific-
got like anxious about being.
Yeah, I
in?
get in my head.
Yeah.
Usually the ones that I have to play music on, it's worse because I have fear for that. 'Cause
Yeah,
I love
which
playing
is-
music, but I also have a fear of playing in front of
Oh,
people.
yeah.
So I've had to play music at events too.
I had just had this conversation with somebody earlier this week, and I said, for as like like in my head as I am about things, and how like the stuff that a lot of the stuff that I do for this job feels like exposure therapy, where it's like things that I wouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
But like I really like doing, and like I went into this avenue because I studied like theater, and ran a theater for a while. But I ended up doing this work because I was like, oh great, like I can just be in a box, nobody's gonna look at me, and it's just like my voice. But like more and more the way that like the industry has developed and stuff, like people want to meet, and I want to meet the authors and get out there, and like these types of interactions, I like say yes because I'm like, yeah, it should be a good time, and I'm like, what the fuck did you just say and do? Like, what? You are canceled. Nobody's gonna listen to your books ever again. Every time. I don't know why it is, but I still agree to do it.
Yeah, I it is weird to me that we've just like being thrust into these giant events where we meet.
Thrust is a fitting word.
Absolutely. I got thrusted right into the events with Steven.
Thrusted so hard into that event.
Oh, we should do a narrate off. Go on.
No, absolutely not.
So wait,
I'll
so
just sit over
people
here and
ask you
watch.
guys to like go and attend, like, so obviously there's this ball that you talked about, you're in costuming and character. Is it that kind of stuff, or is it like?
So,
It's like cosplay, but it's balls.
Is that
okay,
mostly
so
it?
me and
Let me back up. It's dancing balls.
Dancing balls,
Balls.
not the hanging balls.
not the
Not hanging.
There's the dancing one.
the we. That's after.
Dancing balls.
So no, well, okay. So for me, and I think I can say for mostly Steven, we go to these events because he and I can sell tickets because we have a good social media following, but we don't really do a ton of. Like, some of the people we work with do the characters. They're like, you're going to be this character, you're going to act like them, you're going to be that character.
I'm getting a little better at it. The more I do
You are
it.
better at it. I don't do that. I just show up and I'm like, first off, I sold the ticket because they want to meet me. If I try to act like and a lot of time it's book characters, so they're brooding and grumpy, and I'm not going to be that guy. Like, they're not going to be happy about it. They're going to be
That
like,
is kind of true.
Yeah.
so I met him in person and he's an a-hole. Like, I was just trying to be. So I don't do a very good job at cosplaying because it's just not my thing, but I'll try my best for these events. But I haven't had any complaints yet because I sell the tickets and people are like, oh, everybody was excited to meet you and all that. So
It's a little flex there, I think.
Oh my
Yeah, I
God,
mean,
you
he did
sell
mention it a
tickets
few
to me,
times
Steven.
of how much
did.
you guys sell
That was
things.
like
I was
5
wow,
in a
okay,
row.
I got it.
Hey, did you know that he also sells tickets?
Yeah,
when
no,
he
obviously,
goes to
no,
these
clearly
events?
you have a
Honestly,
following. I've picked that up.
Yeah, he also sells tickets,
yeah, no.
too,
The
yeah.
imposter
Yeah,
syndrome.
people just
Oh,
want to go
that's
for
true.
him, obviously. So, okay,
Yeah,
no, I
yeah,
got it.
yeah.
I got it. He
Because
doesn't
he
need to
sells
do anything.
tickets.
He just needs to be him. He just needs to sit there.
It's his
I'm like,
following.
okay,
is what
yeah,
it does.
that's
Yeah.
fine.
They just like him.
Yeah, obviously.
Steven, you have more followers than I do. Why do we continue to do this?
I don't have more active followers.
Whatever.
You know what I mean?
What does that currency
Whatever.
even get you? It gets you invites to these events, yeah.
Follower is, you mean currency is in
Yeah,
followers?
yeah. Like, I mean, like, obviously, like, you're on other people's radars, but, like, does it, like, past a certain point, does it, like, genuinely open you guys up to, like, more professional
Yeah,
opportunities?
Yeah, that's the only reason we go. I have like 12 or something like 12, 15 events that I'm doing this year simply because I'm online talking about books.
Are they events that,
Yeah, I
like,
wouldn't
you're
have got
excited
those.
to be a part of?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you wouldn't, like,
take them
on your
anymore.
podcast be like, no, they suck. I don't want to. Like, sorry.
Every one of them. No, I have a
they're
day job,
awful.
so I make like money from my day
Okay.
job. But so this is all side
Got it.
stuff. I would like for social media and everything to replace it. We just haven't got there yet.
Yeah,
Got
me
it.
too. We would
But
both.
bringing you on is going to be
I
the
think,
straw in the
you
cat's
know
what
what?
it is
or
It's
whatever.
gonna be the straw in the man's undies. I like what, but what does that look?
gonna
Okay,
be
but
the
like,
ship
what is
to the
full
St.
time?
Siglass
Like, what
house.
does doing this full time look like for you guys?
So well, you do get paid for views on most platforms. Like TikTok pays you. Facebook pays Steven. I haven't been monetized yet.
I'm a little more wholesome in my
Um,
content. And I think it's because you're too risque and you won't
That-
give your legal name.
I think it's that almost entirely because I can't get verified because I don't put my real name
I
on
thought
there,
you
and
said
that's why I
Squamer
think
was on
so.
your birth certificate.
Obviously, Squamer is in fact on my birth certificate. They just don't buy it. Facebook is.
I know.
I don't even know what to call that, but
Yeah.
Instagram doesn't pay, but Snapchat pays, Facebook pays, OnlyFans pays, Patreon
Actually,
pays.
Instagram's been paying me just bonuses. It's only like $20 a month though. But hey, that's a Netflix subscription.
So those pay. I started writing. So I write short little smut stories, and then I sell them on OnlyFans and Patreon. I'm hoping to get that I'll
Like
either
I said, OnlyFans quietly.
OnlyFans.
Did you hear that? OnlyFans.
Well, I mean,
I sell them on OnlyFans and Patreon.
I sell them on there. So that's how I make a bulk of my money, I think, from social media. And I want to try to put them into like a short story book, and then I'll sell that. I also wanted to write a few books, but
Is it like
Oh, Samantha, you should read his book, like with your voice.
I would do it in an instant. I love short stories, actually.
Voice.
That's actually one of my favorite like formats to read and narrate. They're fun.
it's just smut. It's honestly there's a build up but yeah, I mean I'll send you one and be like,
Are any
of
of the characters asthmatic?
All right, that's what I
We
should
talked
add.
about that before we hit record, so that's going to be out of context and only funny for me.
I mean, I chuckled.
It was more of a sympathy snort, I think, but
She was like,
I mean, I got the
"Oh, nice
reference.
try,
I got the
Steven."
callback. It was more of like a respect for the
Before.
callback.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but that's how I make. And then the events do pay us. They
Yeah.
pay some. Like they're not crazy.
Is the hope that you
giant.
get to a point like I always imagine like I mean I always have obviously social media for me is a way to continue to connect to people and like certainly get on the radar of certain folks and also like help books and talk about the books that like I'm on, particularly for indies that don't have a lot of like marketing support. And because they're paying me upfront for my work, I really like to, as much as possible, like uplift every book that I'm on. But like I still have like the work of narration. So like as a content creator, is the hope that you eventually don't have to like diversify the portfolio as much? Like right now you laid out like as like 10 different things you're doing that are pulling in little things. Like is the hope that you eventually get to the point that like you only have to do like 5 things?
So a lot of it kind of, I mean, so
I would just like to be in control. That's my thing. Not working for, somebody else. I would like to be working for myself. And so I'm
Yeah.
fine with a different avenue. So I have Patreon, I have Facebook,
Yeah.
TikTok, and then have other, merch. And then this podcast will bring in a little bit, but it's nothing crazy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about merch.
It doesn't matter to me that it's a bunch of streams. I just like being in control of my own life.
yeah. And a lot of the content is like you post it one, you post it everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's not
Your
like
channels
I'm
are
like
so
okay,
different.
stressed.
Like on yeah.
No. I will say what does well on one doesn't always do well on
Yeah.
the others, which is so weird and confusing. But
And usually what you put the least amount of effort into is the one that blows up and it pisses
Oh
me
yeah,
off.
infuriating. I'm sure.
every time.
Is it like? Do you guys are people who are looking to give you opportunities really only looking at followers, or do they care about like your engagement?
No engagement, too.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I guess it just depends. Also, when you go to an event and you have a good experience and people like you, that sets you up for opportunities for another event. Like, oh, he was good here. We need a character that kind of
His
fits the
Zeus
description.
was undeniable. He was slapping people in the face with thunderbolts all night long.
I'm not going to portray the actual Zeus, which is a horrible being, but I will
He's
be
a
a
pretty
lovable
terrible
Zeus.
person.
Yeah, he's just,
We were talking about that in the group chat of accuracy, and I was like, well, he has sex with like everything, including animals and underage people. I was like, we're gonna
Clouds. You brought up cloud play.
He
I'm
didn't
like,
have
that
sex
sounds
with
fun.
Okay, so actually, side note. So apparently, he brought a human to Olympus. I don't remember why, but he brought a human to Olympus. He noticed that the human was obsessed with his wife, and he was like, "I wonder if this human would bang my wife if given the opportunity." So he made a cloud that looked like Hera and sent it to the human, and then the human had sex with it. How, I don't know. And then impregnated the cloud, and then the cloud had a baby, and the baby's name was Centaurus, and then he had sex with a bunch of horses, and that's how we have centaurs, which is
True story.
Which is so
True story.
wild.
That's how we have centaurs.
Really happened.
that's how we have
Crazy.
centaurs.
Every centaur has a little cloud in it.
Yeah. What was I just saying? Anyways, yeah, so no, he can't really be Zeus
No?
in
I mean, I can, but it would be frowned upon.
Yeah, fair,
So
fair,
I will
fair,
not.
fair.
I will not be Zeus.
Listen though, but if you
I'll
do
be-
plan on just like getting out of the industry, like that's how you should go out. Blaze of glory as Zeus at an event.
Yeah, that's gonna end
Yeah.
everything.
I
Basically.
mean, it would, and it would be terrible.
Also, freedom as a person. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. He goes to jail. What did he do? He took his
Too
role
many.
way too serious.
Yeah, he was really, embodying that character. I would love to be an actor one day, though. That was my dream as a child.
Oh, yeah?
To be an actor. Yeah.
Have you done anything? Like, did you do any like stuff recently?
I've only done one acting. It wasn't a paid thing. It was what do you call that? Fan, like a fan. What is it called? Squammer.
It's a fan film.
Fan film. So it was based on ACOTAR, specifically the last chapter of A Court of Mist and Fury, and I played Tamlin, which comes out in October. It was made by Whimsy Gossip. So it was it's like a 30-minute short film, whatever. That was my only legit acting thing. But I had a good time with it, and everybody seemed to like it.
What kind of acting do you want to do?
I really like comedy, and my heroes as a kid were Robin Williams and Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. But also,
you want to do film?
The emotional side of things. Yeah. I don't know how to get into that. I don't think it'll ever happen personally, but that would be
There are a lot
dream.
of avenues, and more. There's one of the things that's been happening, for better or for worse, in the film industry is that a lot of producers, when they're casting stuff, they're starting to put requirements on like the number of followers that like the cast needs to have. And so like certain actors that they would want to have on a production, if they have no social media presence, get passed over for roles because they haven't been spending the time cultivating that, which I have feelings about.
That makes
but,
sense. So, yeah.
is also like indicative of the direction. I just think that like so much money has the film industry has lost so much money and with streaming and everything else, so like putting marketing in the hands of the people that they're casting more and more is like a really important element of it.
So save money with that too.
Yeah.
I understand the idea, but then I feel like you get way less talent from that.
I think it's well, I mean, I'm not saying that like there aren't people who have done like good work.
Generator just kicked on you.
Yeah. No, it's a fan for my studio fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Toasty, okay?
Sorry.
Threw it out.
I mean, I'll turn it off.
It's so hot in here. Spray with
No, I think
listen. We're making her nervous. Steven, stop it.
industry secrets.
I've been a nervous wreck this whole time. He hates me, so.
Dude, I mean, I have had some moments where I was nervous to meet, like,
Who are you most nervous to
Callie
meet?
Hart. Not so much anymore, but the first time I met Callie Hart, I was very nervous just because the context was weird too, and I was like, I've told this story.
Okay,
but
you don't
I'll
need to
tell
tell
the
it
story.
again.
Okay, No, it's fine. So a Polycon. A bunch of my friends were going because I've been doing this for a while, so like bookish people were going, and I was like, okay, it ends at 9. It's only an hour for me. I'll drive out there, and then we can go drinking after or whatever, because there's bars all over where a Polycon is. So I put a video out that I was gonna be there, and then she sent me a DM that was like, hey, do you want to come hang out with me and my team in like my hotel room while we prep for our like celebrity bags or whatever? And I'm like, yes. And for some reason, I was so nervous for that because I was like, I've never met like someone big in this, so I was like, what if I screw it up? Like, I don't know what I thought I'd do. Like, I'd walk in, knock everything over, and it'd catch on fire. I don't know, but
Mr. Bean in action or something.
Like, but I for some reason was super nervous with that. And then the interview with Bren, just because I was like, we haven't done
I wasn't
this yet.
nervous about that.
I know,
I was
you
at
said you
peace.
weren't.
I was more nervous about
I
this
was at
interview
peace.
than with her.
Why are you nervous about me?
I don't know.
We heard
I
things.
don't know anything about you.
Yeah, you were just like, I was nervous because I didn't know what the fuck who this person was.
No, I like your
Loose
voice, and
handle.
I've listened to
Anything
books.
can
I'm
happen.
like, I don't know. I don't want to be cussed out in a nice voice, basically.
You ruin every other book for him. He's like, oh, I want to read this book or listen to this book, but it's her voice, and she was mean to me.
Yeah, so I'll be nice to you. I'll end with like a lot of praise. You're such a wonderful podcast host. Oh my gosh, such a good boy.
Dadgummit. All right, now I'm actually blushing. Okay, people were saying I was blushing in the Corvin King episode. I was. I was not. I was sunburned that day, okay? I had asthma, so I was a little short-winded. All right. Let's get back to you,
let's get back to me.
Samantha.
I know. I
Let's
feel like
stop
we've
talking about us.
answered more questions about us.
Yeah, sorry, that's my trick.
let me ask you this.
Yes.
So one of your main gigs is reading books, basically. So do you ever find that it's hard to just enjoy a book on your own?
Ooh, yes, I find that I am, especially because I've just like read so many as part of my work, that I can also kind of see where an author is going on something. So I am quicker to like DNF something, but I think that that's like just maybe makes me more, what do you call it? Like, I don't want to say, yeah, I don't want to say like more like a judgy bitch, but like I just feel like I'm more precise in terms of like what I'm going to spend my time doing. And I know more clearly if I'm getting into something that I'm like, this one's not for me.
You're a better steward of your time, if you
Yes,
will.
there you go. That's a lovely way to put it. You're so good with words, Stephen.
I'm going to write a book, and I'll have you write it. I mean, I'll have you read it. See, I
You
shouldn't write a book.
No,
Can't
you're
even say
terrible
words.
at it.
You
I should
could-
write a book. Shouldn't say the book. You should say the book.
Yeah, that's. He's like.
Have you ever thought about writing? Is that in the cards for you, or have you written?
Yeah, I mean, I have stuff that I do just for my own personal stuff. There is like a romance short story collection that I like. If I get ideas, it's like where I put them and work on them. And there's like a big fantasy that will probably never see the light of day. But I used to, so like for a long time, I ran like a 30-person like Dungeons and Dragons campaign when I was in the city. And I would, and because there were so many people involved, every time that we used to have like really long, like 8-hour sessions, like once or twice a month. And I would write the stories sort of in between. So there was just like basically like this book that we had that like kept all 30 people kind of abreast of what was happening in the world. And that was like a really fun way to like scratch that itch. But I think like the actual, like putting together a whole ass book really is... I have so much respect for authors and the time that takes and the just everything that goes into that. And I know that sometimes I have a hard time like staying on task in that way. So
It seems like super vulnerable too to put out a finished work and just have the world judge it. Because I've seen people tear down authors, and it probably gets to them.
1,000%. I mean, I still like I get that all the time as a narrator, and at least in the back of my head I can be like, well, I didn't write the book, so like what they didn't like wasn't me, that was like on the page. But like I think you also get to like, I'm at the place in my career now, I've had enough books that have gotten popular enough that like inevitably are going to attract some real hater. What was it? I think my favorite most recent bad review was someone being like, couldn't fucking stand this book. The narrator, it sounded like Jojo Siwa was narrating the book, and I was like, you're welcome. And
Was it like did that make sense to you?
no,
when you listened
absolutely
to it?
not. But also
Okay,
like
I was like, was it like a childish like character?
yeah, I don't know. Do I have like a vague lisp? Maybe, I don't know. I really could not like put my
No.
finger on my. And I was like, am I just like always like this? Like I was like, I couldn't.
I was like, yeah. When you were doing it, you were like, you know who's perfect for this character?
You know what my inspiration for this character was? Jojo Siwa.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, I've gotten to like the point in my career that I've gotten some wild reviews like that and some really lovely feedback, but I really have like learned that like both can't matter. Like neither one of them can't hold any weight, and you have to just like feel good about yourself because it is so vulnerable, and you like spend all this time. Like there's some books that I've poured my whole fucking heart ass into, and people be like, hate
Hard
it.
ass.
My heart ass.
Hard ass, yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
I didn't know
It's-
hearts have asses. but,
Well,
yeah,
you're
we're
not
learning
doing it
about
right,
you.
I was like, clearly you're not
I
working
guess
as hard
not.
as she is what we're gathering from this, Steven. You need to put more work into your
I will learn the heart anatomy.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean I've said this before. I don't know if I've said this, but like comments to me don't feel real on like social media. Like it almost feels like positive or negative. I'm like, yeah, but they wouldn't say that to my
Right.
face.
No, they
So
wouldn't.
even the crazy positive. Well, actually, that's not true because some of the events I've had some comments that I was like, whoa. But positive or negative, it just doesn't feel that real to me, which I think is probably the best way to just exist on the internet.
As long, in terms of how it makes you feel about your work, I think it's important to like, especially as a creative, it's important to have people that like I can get feedback from, and I think it's good. I think it's good to have places that you're getting that. I don't think a straight like Amazon user 492 is not the place that you should be like getting that necessarily. But I also like that's why I like going to the events because. I like meeting people face to face and being able to have those conversations because it's really important to me to like connect to the person because like when I'm in here, I'm always envisioning I'm telling the story to someone. And so I think like, okay, what kind of person likes this book? And especially if it's a book that I'm having a harder time connecting to, I try to think about the author and like why this was an important story for them. And I try to think about the listener and like what kind of person really wants to consume this type of story and connect to them that way. And it's nice to meet them and be like, oh, okay, you're like a whole person. And I'll ask them questions. And I think it makes people nervous sometimes because like, as we discussed, like these events, like we're all in our head. But my way of coping with it is that if like you come to my table for like at a signing, I'll be like, oh, and what, what are you listening to right now? Or what's the kind of stuff that you really like? Or like, what did you think? Like, I'll really like dig into, what Bren did with metaphor in that book. And people will be like, yeah, it was good. I was like, I'm sorry, you weren't ready for a book report. And I was here like...
You were like, you didn't prep for my interview?
But it is important for me to
What
like talk to the person and like really understand how they're consuming it. If they want to have that conversation. I find my awkward socialness is that I'm ready to just be like, let's go deep, let's go. Let's have the whole last conversation.
Let's go. Are you socially awkward?
I'm a little much, like as you can tell.
Nah.
Not
Compared to
enough.
us.
I want more. Spelled
gonna say-
MOOR.
God.
You're really harping on this joke.
I got one joke that has worked, and it's that one. So I'm going to
Yeah.
keep
I
going
think
back
he's
to it.
workshopping it though because he hasn't quite figured out the tagline yet. That is the real
Yeah,
joke.
no.
See, I'm like a stand-up comedian trying his bits out in front of the general public.
Oh,
Of two.
it's gonna be us.
Yeah.
That's what he had the podcast for. Earlier, you asked why we did podcasting. It's that.
Yeah, it's just
Steven
you
wants
get
to
working
try
in
and
material.
do it.
Working out material for my next
Great,
video.
I love it. This is great.
No, I don't do stand-up. I wanted to be a stand-up as a kid, but my influence was Bill Cosby, and that kind of didn't work. So
Problematic.
I mean, you could just do the stage part and not the other parts.
Yeah, that's
true. He was good on stage. He was funny, but
You
then
could also get new
I got-
influences.
you got to
I
just
couldn't
filter out.
actually be a stand-up because I'm better at just creating material and then releasing it rather than doing it live.
I always wonder if I actually could. I mean, like people do think I'm funny, but I don't know if I could do it like in a.
Stand-up is different than just being a
That's
funny
what I'm
person.
saying. That's why I'm wondering. I was like, I would actually like to try.
I think you should try.
Just imagine, like, you know what? I will go. I will not participate, but I will go.
No, I don't.
I'll
I
give
don't
you some.
I think it
I'll
would
give
be
you some.
somehow it makes it better if it's complete strangers. If
Yeah.
you're there, that makes me feel.
Just judging you in the back, giving some fake laughter, randomly.
It's like that's Steven's fake laugh. I knew it. Didn't even
I'll
think
just
it was funny.
He's so short, isn't he? Just randomly shitting on you the whole time.
Cry. What event are you going to next? Do you have an
Yes,
event
I'm
that
going
you're
next week to Sinners and Stardust in Boston.
Ooh. Are you excited
I
for
am
that?
excited for that. I'm going to be Kitty. Bryn's the only person that, I mean, I did something really small for Santana Knox, but Bren is the only person that's attending that I've worked with. So I'm excited to like meet a bunch of authors. I'm moderating a panel, which I find is always a really great way to like meet authors and like talk to them because it's like forced to talk about like an interesting subject. I'm doing
Yeah.
the panel on consent in dark romance. Which will be like a good
Interesting.
conversation. And and I'm like kitty corner to Bren, who has told me all of the insane things that she has planned for this event.
I'm sure,
It's
yeah.
wild.
Yeah, I think Eric Nolan's going. Corvin's going. I know that.
Yes, on the group chat, Eric did tell us that he's scoping it out before he goes
that's what
to
he told
like
me.
New Orleans, and then he's like, "And I'm gonna like bother Samantha or Tampa," and I was like, "Please don't. The books are done.
You hulking
Get
giant.
outta here, you oaf, you big oaf."
Whenever you do these readings, now that you brought up
Yeah.
Eric Nolan, so specifically these last books, the Butcher and
Mm-hmm.
Blackbird books, do you do solo reading or do you have another person with you and you kind of go back and forth?
So
does it
Bren's
just
books are
depend?
recorded in a synchronous duet. So Eric was in Dublin and I was in New York, and we were connected over Zoom, and we did
wow.
it the whole
And-
book through.
And the delay didn't throw that off?
No, there were no
Interesting.
there were no issues with that for us, and we record like locally on our own
Right.
DAWs, but
Okay.
but like to hear each other, we did it, and see each other, we did it through Zoom, and then and I just went to the city last week, and I recorded another one with Jason Clark, and we were just in the same studio in person, and then tourist season, Rob was in the city and I stayed at my home studio and we were over Zoom. But a lot of times that's rare. Most of the time these duets, I'm just by myself and I have this little clicker, and when it's somebody's line, I do that. So it's like a really intense, like intimate scene, and it'll be like, "What are you doing here?" And you like really have
that
to
doesn't
stay
throw it
like
off?
in it. Yeah, I mean, like I think there's like a lot of things, like when a lot of people like ask like ridiculous questions, like, "Oh, don't you get like so whatever in these scenes?" I'm like, no, especially in a duet, because again, it's like, you.
I did have that question in the back of my mind when you have to read super spicy scenes.
Now that you said you did it with, like, I think by yourself is one thing, but definitely like with the other person, does that ever get? I mean, you've done theater and stuff before, so is it like awkward or strange?
No, I mean it's not. It's just like if I was doing a film role or a theater role where you're like making out as like those characters. Like it's just the characters, and I think it's important.
So you kind of disassociate yourself from the character, and
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely the characters. I leave everything that I do. Like,
or I'm just saying you're able to do that.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean, I think one of the most important skills to cultivate in this work, particularly because romance is told a lot in the first person POV. I think it's really important to figure out how your relationship to the work, so that like when you close the door or you cross the threshold of your booth, like it's gone, it's done, it's not you.
Yeah, you're not still thinking about it. Like, that was fun.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, no.
Fuel for later.
Yeah, no. None of that. And I think like for the stuff that's recorded live, like Eric and I didn't know Eric before we went. I know Jason. He works at my studio. I've spent a lot of time with him. So when he and I work on stuff, that's like a no-brainer. Rob and I also knew each other beforehand, but like Eric and I didn't. So we met beforehand and just like established some like safety measures like you would with like an intimacy coordinator, where it would be like, okay, well, let's meet. Let's see. Are you like a weird guy? And it was like, oh no, actually we are exactly the same type of like dorky jokos, like clowns. So great. So yeah, I mean, like we immediately vibed, and we immediately knew like, okay, well, here's something like if you're uncomfortable in the moment, like what you can say or do.
Yeah.
And a lot of times there's like
Have
an
you ever
engineer or director, so like you've got like another person there as well.
Oh, there's like another person on the call?
Yeah, a lot of times you'll either have a director
A
or like an
moderator.
engineer there as well. So like, you know, you've got that again, like takes another layer of like there's no, you know, weirdness.
Yeah,
here.
you know, secluded somewhere.
Yeah, you guys are like getting real into it, and there's somebody else like, guys, we need to get this done.
Yeah, I've had like one or two vaguely strange interactions, and they were not on simultaneous duets. They were just in like pre-production sort of conversations with gentlemen co-narrators, and I'm like, that was weird. Let's not.
That's not. Whatever you just
Whatever you
did,
just
don't
did,
do that again.
just don't.
Let's just no. You know what?
Yeah.
No.
Has there been people like you just, I can't work with you because of how you are? You don't have to name names, but or has it been?
For the most part, this stuff is not there. I think there's people that I would not want to do a synchronous duet with because of that. But for the most part, the work is done so isolated that like my worst issues with anyone, okay, we're on a production chain together. So we sent an email.
Yeah, it's just
fine.
all you are is a clicker.
Yeah, exactly. All you are is a clicker.
You're
in my...
just a tiny box clicker.
Yeah.
Are there narrators that you have not worked with but you would like to work with, that are on your vision board, if you will? I don't know why you use that, but on your bucket list.
Yeah, in her
Get in my
room, there's a
bucket.
picture of all of the people that just on their face.
Okay,
Like,
now it sounds creepy. Generally, just let's back up. Is there narrators that you haven't worked with that you would like to work with?
Yeah, I feel like that list is always like evolving, especially as more and more people start to like enter the industry. So like you mentioned Corvin, like I haven't like really, I think like we've been on like multicasts or things like that, but like we've never really like closely worked together. And again, the thing is that for some of these folks, like the working together is like you're a clicker for me, or if it is a duet, like where I'm doing the male voices, it's an opportunity to listen to their work and try to like emulate their vibe. But there's not as much like the most that you work together are these like synchronous duets, which are really rare.
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So how many accents can you do you think?
That's a good
I
question.
mean, I'm fairly. I don't have a count.
She can do a cool
can
bird.
do-
We know that, but she won't show
I won't
us.
show
so
you
we
my
don't know
bird.
for sure.
Sorry. Yeah, you got to get the book.
And
I have the art copy. I just don't have the.
Well,
audio.
you know.
she told me she was gonna send me an
I will,
copy,
as
and
I
have
read
not
it, I
got
will just
one.
picture you pretending to be a bird.
I'm
Samantha. I'm Morpheus.
Gosh, just know
That's the
that
bird's name.
somehow Bren continues to make me do the most intimidating things. When I had to sing in Leather and Lark, I wanted to evaporate.
That was good. That was
I
good.
am not a singer.
I
It
thought
wasn't
it was
bad.
good.
It was terrifying. When we got to when we were recording that.
It wasn't out. What didn't
Well,
sound weird.
thank you. I appreciate that feedback, but I needed depends. I was so intense.
I
about
actually remember thinking, oh, that was nice.
Yeah, because I actually thought they might get someone, because when they mentioned singing, I was like, I wonder if they're going to get a different person, or if this person can sing, because at the time I didn't really know who.
Well, you're not tone deaf, so you hit all the notes, and you have a good voice, so it wasn't
Yeah.
I
bad.
apprite that. I was nerve-wracking
Pants is
because
tone
they
deaf.
didn't have. We went back and
Squammy
forth
Pants
on
is
whether or
tone
not
deaf.
they were able to actually add music to it, and
Which they did.
which they did not. So it was just a cappella,
Just
which
say open,
like
baby.
was really nerve-wracking. And then Eric knew I was really sensitive about it, and when we got to that point, I was like, I won't do it like while we're narrating. I'm gonna record it separately, and you can cut it in. And while we were recording, he kept on like being like, no, I think you should sing it now. You're not gonna do it for us right now. I think you should do it right now in front of. And I was like, no, I will not. In front, nobody else is gonna be here while I'm like. It was very.
I like how you went into
just-
Michael Jackson. All
Yeah,
of a sudden.
well, that's
I'm
where
just
you
picturing-
started. So now you know how bad I am and how much it like
No,
took me to
no.
get. So anyway, so she's doing that, and now she's making me be a bird. So thank you, Bren, for.
Well, maybe this will
Maybe you can
help
yell at her
take
this weekend.
flight in other ways.
Oh, beautiful, Steven.
I just want you to soar. I just want you to soar. That's what I want.
Oh, my
Wordsmith,
God.
man, inspirational. You know what? I want that freeze framed. I'm gonna hold on to that. That's what I'm taking from this.
That's good. You're gonna put it in your
I'm gonna
clicker.
put it in my clicker.
Just
I want you to soar.
See, now I'm just picturing Eric after you sing and you're being all nervous about it, and him being like, just like, that was fucking shite with his accent, and I'll be like, that was awesome, because I said fucking weird for like 3 days after I finished that book, and I was like, I'm gonna say it like that forever.
I like his voice too.
He's got a
Oh,
great
his voice is
And
fantastic.
he actually
He does.
I'm very openly giving him shit because we give each other shit, but he actually was
Sure.
so wonderfully supportive and kind through that whole thing, and he's very good at what he does. So it was lovely to work with him, even if he's a moron.
Yeah.
Well, little known fact about Squammy Pants. He loves when women are mean to him. I don't know if you know this or not. He made a video about
I
it
did
today.
this
He's like,
all
"I just
wrong.
eat
I've
that
been
up."
mean to you all night, and I should have
Yeah.
been mean.
And now I'm going to not sleep tonight, and Squammer could have slept better had you done him instead.
All right. Okay.
You know what?
too
Actually,
late
I'm
now.
gonna get less sleep because you didn't make fun of me. Now I want to be like that. But
So
no,
we're both going to be up just second guessing
I'm gonna
everything.
text him.
So you're saying you're going to be up
She
all
was
night
mean.
thinking of me?
Oh,
That's
crap.
exactly
This
what
is
I'm
not
saying.
working out
It
at
worked
all,
out
is it?
perfectly.
This is what I.
Oh,
this is
peanut
what
butter
I'm very much
Squammer and
saying.
Steven have.
Yeah.
That doesn't
It
sound very good.
doesn't.
It doesn't even
Doesn't even
rhyme or
know.
anything.
Steven.
Peanut butter Squammer and Steven. Let's work on most of what that
Yeah.
is. Okay.
We
We usually go an hour, but I am having a good time. I don't want to keep you from anything that you're doing.
need more, is what he's saying.
You need more?
Yeah. we're making
More spelled
M-O-O-R.
M-O-O-R.
Make it up for that one. Oh man. Yeah.
I also have some user submitted questions. that we
Yeah.
can dive into.
Go for
Any good ones in there?
Well, they are questions.
Oh, I did want to ask because I just thought of this before you go.
Can I be mean to you?
Which,
Yes. What is that hat?
Obviously, good.
What is that hat?
Actually, it's another podcast's hat.
I have
That's
to take
what
my
it
hat
is.
off because I don't know what we're on.
After-
It says Book Club After Dark.
It's repping
It's another-
somebody else. Can't even rep your own brand.
I
we-
actually like that we do that. Like,
Yeah,
we're
we
not-
do try
we're not-
to-
We're humble.
Oh, I like
I'm
that. You're
just
community.
fancy
You're
fangirl
community
shirt.
builders.
Yeah, and this is a Haunting Adeline shirt, which I don't know who sent that to
Lovely.
me, and I
I
don't
love
think it's
that
licensed,
side
so
for
I'm
you
not
guys.
gonna. Yeah, thanks. We try our best. Which of Bryn's characters that you voiced do you think you are more like? That was gonna be my question.
Ooh, I think this most recent one, tourist season. I think
I'm a quarter, or I guess a third of the way through that book. I like it so far.
yeah, it's
I only do audiobooks, so now I'm gonna be waiting to hear your
well,
voice.
it's great. Her voice sits the most, like even just pitch, it sits the closest to mine. And yeah, her vibe is I think her like there is a way that I mean all of her female characters do this a little bit, but Harper does a good job of like her like duty to others and what she is trying to do to take care of other people, and how far she's willing to go for that, while also like maybe disregarding her own needs. I really empathized with that struggle of like, and I think the way that it's expressed and explored and internalized like really spoke to me. Plus, I've
Now
done,
I'm dying for the
whatever
steam book.
happens in the playground has actually happened. It didn't actually. If anybody's read this, I have not done the playground thing. just, I just really
clarified.
need to clarify. I was like, oh wait, you guys haven't read that one yet, so no.
I haven't read it yet. So...
Should have just left a cliffhanger. So whenever I get to that part, okay.
It's a little weird.
You're gonna get
it's a little. It's like a little bit like no, I haven't. So
Well, I mean, it's Bren, so
Good to
it's
it's good.
I was like, I forgot to ask her when she was on here. I'd be like, Bren, did you have to clarify that you would definitely get a yeast infection or a like it
Of
would
the
not
cotton
be good
candy.
for chemical balance with the cotton candy? Like that's not a good way of doing that at all. No trigger warning on that. Like, hey, just a heads up, your pH is gonna be jacked up after that.
Totally jacked.
Don't do that. So, but yeah, I didn't ask her. I should have. You know what? Maybe I'll send her a DM. Be like, hey,
Are you
Just
giving
so we're
pH
clear.
warnings to your?
are you giving pH warnings? The downstairs is sensitive, and you're just throwing cotton
Calm
candy
down.
down
You're
there.
reading too much into the book that's supposed to be.
Honestly, I think she would have thought it was funny. It
Well,
seems like
she's
her
a
book.
scientist. I'm sure she has thought
Yeah.
these things out.
Oh, she definitely did. And the other thing was in that book, they didn't like wash it off immediately either. There was like follow up, like there was a few minutes more. So it's like,
Every now and then she'll sneak in like a philosophical take. I remember reading Tourist Season, and at one point there's like just one sentence that made me go, oh, life advice. And then I remember posting something like, I'm trying to have a good time, not be a better person, Bren.
Yeah, she puts freaking bangers in there where you're just like, oh,
She's a smart cookie, as the kids say. Hopefully no kids say that.
Yes.
Question.
oh,
Ready for
yeah,
this?
hit me.
This is a deep one. I don't think you're ready for this deepness. Sweet or salty?
Ooh, I mean, generally salty.
Like your attitude.
Precisely.
Word precisely. Favorite one-liner?
From what? Like a book?
Just a
just
one-liner.
anything.
Probably not from movies because you haven't got any of my references today.
Your references, much weirdly like Eric Nolan's, are like stuck in like 1999 and like 2003 or something. Like,
Yeah, early 2000s and 90s films is
yeah.
where I
Talk to Eric
live.
Nolan. I think it's like Frasier or something really bizarre that you're just like, how is this the reference that we're?
What is something new and hip then?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Something from
I don't know.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
K-pop Demon
Yeah.
Hunters is a banger of a movie.
There was a line
So-
in that movie. It was said, every snowflake is unique, but one is always better, or something like that. I was like, I don't think that was.
One
was
is
the
always
line.
better.
I wrote it down.
One is always
Yeah,
better.
it was supposed to be funny. Yeah, one's
Oh.
always the best.
Oh,
Something like that. Have you watched K-pop Demon Hunters?
I have.
You have?
It's a good movie. The soundtrack is fantastic.
The soundtrack is great. Have you
No,
watched
not
it
yet.
more? Can I call you
Call
more?
me more.
Can I call you Sammy B?
Call
Can
me
you call
Sammy B.
Or I'll call you anytime.
Sammy B.
What's up? What's up?
So you haven't watched
No,
it?
I haven't watched it. And no, I don't have a good one-liner that I go to. I think, there's in a Tourist Season, because we just did it, and it's a friend of mine, opens with her doing a lot of things, talking about people, and the button is like wood chipper every time she does it when she's talking about somebody who's like, just sucks. And it's like, they get the wood chipper. So wood chipper, sure.
Cookie Monster.
I love Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster.
I
That's
was
a
gonna say
reference. No
I
one's gonna
don't.
get.
My one-liners are always triggered by something because I swear I'm weird, and just all of a sudden somebody will say something, and I'm like, that triggers my ADHD in this way. I'm gonna say it for the next week.
Yeah, I don't
I don't have a
like
good example,
remember.
but-
Like, I don't have a lot of like quotes from things. Like, my brain does not store that kind of information. It's like I have.
Unlike Steven with his.
Yeah, it's like I have a very small hard drive, but I have like a
obscure-
lot of RAM in my brain. If that's a nerd reference.
Why did you at that? It's just the word RAM. Is that what got you excited, Squamer?
No, honestly, the fact that
She goes, "I got a lot of RAM."
went
You
from
go,
hard drive to RAM, it made sense, and I was like, it's good. It's a good computer reference.
I mean, it's a metaphor that
okay.
makes sense to me, but
It did. It did. It made sense to me. Steven, do you even know what RAM stands for?
Yeah, it stands for raw. I'm a man. Okay, let's go on. This next question. So my bestie has a hot voice. What does she need to do to start narrating?
well, the one thing that a lot of people say to do that I agree is if you think that you want to get into this work, go into a closet with a small light and pick a book and just read it out loud in your closet with the door closed and see how that goes, because that's what the job is. All the other stuff is like, you can learn how to edit, you can do whatever, but how long can you talk out loud in a small box and start there and see how that goes?
How do you get seen, though?
How do you get seen? Like,
how do you get the opportunities, I guess? Like, if you had advice for somebody who's starting out, like, what do you do?
Well, if you've been working, I mean, I think
point?
the thing is that the important thing to remember is that no matter, so there's getting the opportunities and then being ready for the opportunities that you can get. So I think like you cannot discredit the amount of work to like the hours on the mic, the time in a closet with a book. So I think it's important to make sure whether or not you're doing classes or just doing stuff for yourself, like and auditioning for stuff to make sure that you've got that. And then I mean, a very, like I said, my path was very different. So you can't like sneak into studios anymore because everybody's recording on their own. ACX is a place where a lot of people are auditioning, but it seems more now that there are like online communities of up-and-coming narrators that are, building community, helping each other out, helping find those opportunities. And so I'd be sure to find people that are kind of at your level or like right before, and talk to them about where they're getting their opportunities. And I think a lot of people like myself, like I don't coach, but I'm happy to take like a virtual coffee with people and see where they're at and give them advice on stuff. And then, it's like any acting gig. You're doing a lot of cold calls, you're doing a lot of submissions. You want to make sure you have a website with your samples. If you don't have a lot of books that you've narrated, you want to make it easy for people to like hear your voice and what you can do, so that when you're reaching out, they know what you sound like and what you can do.
That is one thing, like, people ask me, like, how do I get to, like, fantasy? Like, how do I get hired to be at a fantasy event? I was like, I don't think you want to do it the way I do it, which is make content until people invite you.
Right.
Like, that's not a good way to do
Well,
it.
you have to build a very large platform and then have whatever your platform does that is also kind of involved in what they're doing.
Yeah, but you could
Has
just
to
be
match.
mediocre at, or like fairly good at making costumes and live in the area. And then just get lucky once. That's usually how most people I know
Also,
do it.
I think that there's so many avenues. Like if you've got like a hot voice, books may not be the path for you. Like be a Quinn creator, or there's a lot of other opportunities for you to use your voice. If you're like, my friend has a hot voice, do they need to do books? There's so many other VO things that you can do. And books is just one of them.
Like a drive-through narrator or whatever. Like, what can I get you Friday? Yeah. Imagine pulling up to McDonald's and it's just like, you're like, ooh, I want to eat more, but I also don't want to at the same time. I just want to
Do
feed
you want that supersized or?
Dang it, I spit.
Well, now I need McDonald's.
And you need a hot voice.
Well,
This
This person here is going to do it.
This is going to do it.
Or
Mickey
I'm just calling
D's
Samantha.
nuts.
I'm like, hey, I need someone to speak.
Sorry. I'm not sorry. I like that one.
Okay, well, that speaks to your taste.
He doubled down on it. He's like,
It's
you know
fine.
what? I believe in that one.
I'm tired of being mad at myself. I'm just going to celebrate when I don't, blah, blah.
Own it, Steven.
Okay, you want to do a couple more
hit me.
questions? Okay. First, this is vague and broad, but let's see how you
I'm
answer.
abroad.
First-time reader.
I said
What'd you
I'm
say?
abroad.
First-time reader, what do you recommend we start with?
Oh, like of mine? Well, okay, you said vague and broad. I would say if you're looking in the Samantha Brentmoor canon, and you're a first-time listener of mine, I have narrated in kind of all romance subgenres. Everything from monsters to unhinged erotica to small town stuff. So I would say look for the type of subgenre that you like. Obviously, romantasy, Shield of Spares, I would recommend. There's a time travel one I did that is really good called The Parallel Series by Elizabeth O'Rourke that I really, really like. And
I like time travel.
There's an Elsie Silver Wild Side that I did that was really important to me because one of the things that the main character deals with a sibling with addiction issues was really well handled, and it was something that I had personal experience with, and I thought it was really good. And you can't go wrong with Bren's books. So that's not a great, but they're all different flavors. So depending on what you like.
Yeah. There's different options.
Okay.
Wait, you did monster erotic books?
Yeah,
or
I've done
whatever?
some. There's
That-
oh gosh, what is her name now? There's a whole like they're like Omega verse ones, and I just did this like novella last week that hasn't been announced yet. That it was deliciously unhinged. I was like, and I put into the universe. I was like, I want to do more like unhinged erotic novellas because they're great. Like, give me the door.
I like deliciously.
Yeah, give me the
unhinged.
like door romances or like the whatevers. Like,
that is
Isn't that there's a book called
that is
Unhinged,
an
Something
right?
like that.
book.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
she
yeah.
has to like
She has
bang
Yeah.
a door and
She
not
bangs
in
a
a knocking
door
way.
handle, and then the door turns into
Let's
a man,
do it.
and then they end up together
want
or
it.
something.
I mean, I love Lamp, so do that
okay,
next.
I think I got that one.
Do you know that
Yeah,
movie
that's
reference?
a Will Ferrell
Yeah?
one,
Okay.
right? There
yeah,
you go.
Anchorman. Yeah. Well, we should end on that high note.
Yeah, that's the high note.
It's
Always
better than the
leave them
Usher
one note.
reference, if I'm going to be honest.
Hey. All right. That wasn't
Sorry,
for you.
I
Okay,
promised I was
apparently.
going to end with being nice to you. So I really love that. That was great. That was a great
Good
reference.
job,
No, I know it's fake.
good job, Steven. You're
Steven,
doing
you're
so
so
good.
I'm gonna
great
cut
at
out-
this.
I'm gonna cut out everything that I did in here. It's just gonna be y'all. and then
No,
whenever
because
I'm,
then we
you know,
won't have
in
somebody that,
pauses.
you know, we're kicking.
I won't. Yeah.
Someone's
I
got to be
won't-
the butt of
Yeah.
the joke, Steven.
I guess somebody's got to be the clicker.
Somebody's got to
So I'll
be
be
the clicker, and you are the clicker of my heart. So,
Oh,
yeah, bud.
I mean,
That
is
was
that nice? Because when you think about it, it's the fact that she's replacing you with a button.
and her
that
heart
she
has a
can't hear
butt.
you.
It's probably in her heart butt.
Yeah, her heart ass, as
Yeah,
we just
you're
discussed
the-
earlier. She's
Yeah.
not putting you in the
You're
regular
the clicker
heart.
in
That's
my
not
ass.
there's no
is
room.
Where
It's the clicker.
Samantha
in my-
Brentmoor gets
I mean, there
canceled
was-
going on a podcast telling two
No,
men that they are
no.
the clicker in her ass.
No,
So, anyways,
you would be celebrated.
mega
because-
professional.
Nice.
This is why I
seems
don't.
about
This
right
is.
to
See,
me.
I told you that you were like you're socially awkward. Well, I don't know, man.
This is gonna be the best one we've
Well,
done
great.
because you
This
just
is
meshed
gonna
so
be-
well.
I mean, you've definitely kept up with the vibe of us and the unhingedness. So you
I've
weren't
been
at-
speechless several times, and that's rare.
Well, mission accomplished. Is amazing.
Yeah, and he's got this. He made him blush. It's great. It's a good time.
Yeah, I can't wait for those comments. Oh, he's blushing. Shut
It's
up.
just hot. It's just.
Just how I'm sunburned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have asthma.
What,
This chain is
yeah,
too
you're
tight.
going through puberty
right, first
too.
off-
It sounds like.
Yeah.
It's great. I can't wait. You're gonna be a real boy soon. You'll be a
Hey,
real good boy.
One can
Steven.
hope. Now I gotta lower my
You'll be a real
voice.
good boy.
I'm gonna
You're
be
gonna be a narrator right
Yeah.
now.
I'm gonna be a freaking narrator.
You know what, Steven? She's gonna use that voice. She's gonna make a voice in one of the books
I-
now, and she's gonna be like, Steven's
hope
gonna be like,
so.
that was
Hey.
me.
The next time you have a small town in the hill country or something, and you
Then
need a
an
dude's
almost
voice,
accent.
just know you have me on.
What is that guy? Does he work at like the automotive shop? Is he the?
No, he's a plumber, as Spencer mentioned earlier in this show, and he has a small drinking problem that he doesn't admit.
Oh, okay. Which you can
He
kind
also
of tell
likes
from
to
that
play-
slight
yeah, yeah.
slur, right?
Yeah, and he bowls on the weekend, but he's not very good. But it's a community thing, and he's afraid to show his emotions.
Okay.
So he hangs out with the boys while
Oh,
they
is
bowl.
that why he's kind of like?
See, I've thought a lot about this
Yeah, you
character.
have.
So, if you're a booker,
if you're a booker,
a book
no,
writer,
if you're a
If
booker,
you're a booker,
if you're a booker, and
Screw
you want
authors.
that guy,
We
his
need a booker.
voice, I got you right here.
I
I'm
love
gonna
the
go do
booker
some plumbing
community.
and some bowling.
yeah, that sounds like somebody that doesn't like. Hey, the people that write things down.
It's
the
like
booker
a bookie, but redneck, basically.
people. Yeah, they're bookies. Hey, I need some money for some gambling. You know the booker around here? Do you mean a bookie? Nah, none of that.
No, a booker.
That's for liberals. I need a booker.
Okay,
I
calm
feel like Steven's really showing his true colors here. Like, you know,
Yeah.
he talks like he reads books and knows others, but really, in his mind, words are a challenge. They're
words are hard.
bookers and
I like that you think like that I would read books, though. That I'm giving that appearance, right?
I mean, it's what your platform is built on, mostly.
I mean,
in
you're
your
Yeah.
ways.
those.
I'm glad
you're
that I'm
wearing
glad
a
my
shirt.
platform is believable. Is
Oh,
what I'm
okay,
saying.
great.
Oh,
This isn't even real book. This is an AI image behind me. See?
yeah.
This doesn't even
Oh, he's
move.
also wearing a shirt that has a book on it to make you think he read it.
Yeah.
Didn't.
No, he's just passionate about Zeus cosplay. This has all been a way for him to just go be
Yeah.
Zeus.
Can't wait to go have sex with a
Yeah,
cloud.
this is all
Yeah,
leading
this
up
is
to
so
cloud
He wants to have
sex.
sex with a clown.
All
Yeah,
of
obviously.
this content, all of this fake reading, and it's all going to come to a head soon
I
in
call
a
it
cloud.
my
It's
fluffy
gonna come
time.
to a head when he comes in the cloud.
Oh, that's funny. That's humorous.
Yeah, thank
Comedy.
you.
That's the worst thing to do when something is funny. Just say, "Oh, that was funny."
You've done it
now
like
it's-
3
Yeah, he
now
does,
it's
it, all,
done.
he does it
I'm
to
sorry.
himself.
I know.
No, I
He's
just
like-
laugh.
The joke lands, and he's like, "Ha ha!"
I'm going to be so wounded by the next episode that I'm going to talk less, I think.
I'm gonna text.
I'm
I'm gonna get a
spiritually
text
and
I don't
emotionally
know.
bleeding
I think
out
This is what
right now.
happens when like Bill Cosby is your comedy icon.
Yeah, that's a good point. Did I say that
Yeah,
before?
Yeah, you did admit
Podcast
that.
or during?
You did. You put that out there.
Yeah, that was stated.
Well, he was my childhood hero as a kid. Like that was my first stand-up
Yeah.
special.
And you're having a
Never
you're-
meet your heroes, my friends.
Yeah, well, you would remember if you
we
did,
met
so.
ours today, though. Not this
Mr.
one. Earlier in the day. Just kidding. No, my hero is more. MOOR.
Yeah, Samantha Brentmoor is definitely my hero.
Thanks,
That's
guys.
what it
You
was.
You know
guys are
what?
my hero.
This is
yeah,
off
don't
topic.
get me. Go.
Get me. I really like, not necessarily right now, but generally speaking, I like awkward pauses. Like in conversation, I like it. I don't like it.
What do you
but I
find
like
like
it. It's
delicious
funny.
about them?
It's just funny, and people don't know what to do, and it makes
Do
me
you
laugh.
intentionally
Like if
try
there's a
to
lull-
make awkward pauses?
No, but if it happens, I recognize it, and I say something stupid probably, and I can feel it, and it feels funny.
No, that's that. Yeah, you've definitely. You can't. I like how you say you like them, but you also can't handle them. So this is an interesting.
What do you mean?
Like when there's an awkward pause in person, if you were the last person to say something and you feel like you
Okay.
caused the
Yeah.
awkward
If
pause,
I caused it, I hate it.
then
But if it's
you-
just
I can
there,
literally
and I
feel
didn't cause it, I will till
tension
that land, my friend.
build immediately. Steven's like that instant. Wait, did I do that? 'Cause-
Yeah, that is true. But because I'm a people pleaser, and I
Yeah.
have my biggest fear is that people won't like me.
Oh, well, that's
I have
impossible.
to-
You're so charming, Stephen.
Stop it. You got me blushing
Well,
again.
that's the point. Did my job.
That's true. Has anybody offered to send you a crochet sex swing? By the way, I have gotten a lot of offers.
This is out
Oh,
of the
because you said
blue,
something
isn't it?
that you were trying that you didn't think it was possible, right?
Oh, it's in the book. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean
It's in the book.
I don't get that kind of cool stuff. I feel like the like coolest thing or strangest thing. I get a lot of like tiny crocheted like woobles sometimes, but that's kind of over.
Ooh.
There was like a year where at the conventions everybody was giving me, and so I have like some crocheted like tiny penises that when my nieces come by, they ask what they are, and I tell them they're lobsters because they're bright red. And they're like, it doesn't look like a lobster. It's like, it's a lobster without
What
a
penis
tail.
looks like a
Well, it's just
lobster?
like a bright
do
red,
I need to go
like
see a-
long, like, dong shaped thing.
I need to go see a doctor if my thing is supposed to look like a crab or a lobster because it does not actually
It
at
kind
all.
of looks like.
There's no.
well,
there's-
okay.
Okay. Oh, now you're blushing. No, you're not.
Good. I'm the only one that hasn't. I'm winning today.
You have blushed.
I don't think today.
What-
when
what-
Corbin was on for
Oh,
sure.
Okay. Is Corvin the only one who makes you blush?
I
make
think
him
Bren
blush
did too,
sometimes.
but Bren, maybe I think it's because I was nervous.
Oh. Well, what's gonna make you blush?
Yeah.
How
You just
do
make
we
me feel
how do
so
we make
comfortable.
Peanut butter blush.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it takes a lot to be honest with you.
so hardcore?
'cause I have issues. No, I just have issues. It's like the things we discuss. oh.
Like you're
I'm
like
like,
you're
you know,
closed off.
Oh,
Oh.
no. I'm just like, topics aren't really off limits.
see.
So if you're gonna be like this, I'm gonna be like,
Does
cool.
does being
Yeah,
really really earnest like make you blush? Like would be like what would make you?
That's a good question. I think, and the reason I think that Corbin makes me blush is because sometimes I feel like I have to follow that with words now. I was like, I sound stupid.
He's very
That's-
eloquent.
Yeah, he's very articulate.
Yeah, he is. It's rough. I was like, dang it, dude. He's like, you sound like that and you're the words you're saying. It's not fair. They can't be both.
I'll listen back to my self-talk, and I'll say the word like a bunch, and I'm like, oh, I just said it again. And I'll think, oh, I say like too much. Or
I
what's
say
just
like a
something
lot.
random.
Mine is maximum. I don't say it much, but for some reason in my head that word isn't a word. I don't know why, which is weird because when I was a physics major, you use it a lot. So when you say it out, maximum, I don't know, and you spell it, I'm like, that doesn't look right.
I don't like the word typically. Every time I hear it, I'm like, it's too many ickicles. You know what I mean? It sounds like marbles cascading down a staircase or something, and I don't like it.
Yeah, sure.
Typically.
Sure.
I don't. It's just.
I like it.
It's too pretentious. Basically, I just see it on my camera.
Yeah, I did.
Typically,
Typically.
go away.
No, I'm just
I
thinking
did go to a.
words as
Have you
marbles
said a
falling
word?
down a staircase. Beautiful imagery.
Like, just take any word and you say it a bunch of times, and that
Oh,
word
well,
doesn't sound
that
really
is
like
1,000% true. And sometimes
Yeah, yeah.
I'll work on books that will have the like same turn of phrase very often, and I'll be like, this doesn't mean anything to me anymore.
You know who does it a lot? And I don't think you've narrated any of their books, but Sarah J. Maas. Are you a fan of Sarah J. Maas? And her
Yeah,
books?
I mean, like I know of them, but I'm not like a deep fan.
But like the clicking of the tongue, or the throat bobbing, or the watery bowels,
The
or
water.
the flicking of lint.
Oh my
it's
God,
on
the
every
watery
page.
bowels
You're like,
one. I was
ugh.
like, what does that mean?
It means the bowels are watery.
I just
You know how hearts sometimes have booties? Well, bowels have water in
true.
them.
That's
Sometimes.
apparently.
It's all this new anatomy that we're dealing
Just
with.
like a
in today's
gurgly
culture.
stomach
book.
where you're just like, "Ooh."
It's like, have you ever had Chipotle and then took a nap and then woke up and thought you were going to die?
It's
Kinda like
just
that.
good that.
Who
Yeah,
takes a nap
that
after
feels like you have a
Chipotle? I
watery
don't think
bowel.
I have. I had a lot of Chipotle though. I will say, I did go to a narrator's panel, and they were like, sometimes they just want to fight the author. They're like, when they wrote the words, like one of them, what was it? They said the words like L when that end in ly in a like quick succession. They're like, yeah, why would you do that? I couldn't remember the example they gave, but they're like, there's a few times where it's like, I know when the author wrote it, they didn't think towards like what the narrator would have to deal with. But yeah, I don't know if you deal
know
with
what?
that where you're
My
just like,
kryptonite is. We're gonna be able to do now. Soldier's shoulder.
Soldier's shoulder?
My
I've pretty
Yeah,
much
you
nailed
did.
that.
Just
Does
a
anybody out there need me to
respect.
read Soldier's
So
shoulder?
it's there's something about
Found a
the
new talent
like
of mine.
I end up wanting to do like shoulders. So like it's so hard for me, and my dyslexia of like how I flip it, it's like intense.
They call those tongue twisters, see?
Yeah.
yeah, the tongue twisters. I can't. I don't know what it would be for me, but I know it would be something.
Maximum
Maximum
is
but,
what it would be. It sounds like it
maximum
would be.
my. I'd be like, is that even a word? What are they saying?
What if
right
you did
now?
a book where like his name was like Maximus? Would that like throw you?
I would just be like, no,
No,
not gonna do
doing
it. Actually,
it. Quit.
I only voice act
Maximus
my
has
own
maximum
stuff, and
muscles.
I feel so uncomfortable when I do that.
Which one?
So, I voice act my own stuff. I write the little short smut stories, and I've done a few of the. I've narrated a few of
He
them.
does it on OnlyFans.
I do it on OnlyFans. But
It's
I
yeah.
because like I feel like I'm not good at it, so like no chance because people have messaged me like, can you do my book? And I was like, no, because like I feel like if I don't do justice to what they made, I'm gonna feel like a terrible
Sure.
person. But I made this, so like I can't
let yourself
make
down.
it worse. Yeah, I can
Right.
let myself down and be like, this isn't what I pictured, but it's mine,
Right.
so it's fine. But yeah, that I'm not. I can't. I want to do more of it and try to do better, but and then
Voice acting?
just voice acting for my own stuff because it does really well. It sells well, and people like it. They say I do a good
Well,
job.
because they
but I'm
like
Yeah.
you and they like,
Yeah,
they're hearing you in your videos.
I think that
so-
there's like
And
an
then,
overemphasis sometimes on like
manly voices.
well, I mean that's just the market though, right? Like I feel like
Yeah.
in general
Yeah,
like,
well.
and this is like mostly like, cis headspaces, but like, in general straight women like are going to be into auditory stuff more than straight men are going to be. Like if you're talking about like being
Oh, yeah, for
titillated
sure.
by content, that like in
Yeah, because there's not like a Quinn for men.
Well, yeah, because in general, like I feel like men are visual, like straight men are visual beasts, and queer men as well. But like I just think that like in general, that is sort of like the switch over that they're gonna be like, yeah, I mean, I could listen to it, but honestly, I'd rather just like look at a picture and yeah,
Watch it,
exactly,
which-
exactly. That's definitely of their interest, which is like okay, that's why in the audio space, men do over index in the like titillating audio space.
Yeah.
And I think that there's an overemphasis on just like, oh, he's got a sexy sounding voice or like whatever. I think, especially like if you go to some of the apps like Dipsy or Quinn or something, that there's a lot of people that just sound like a guy you could go on a date with that do well. And especially somebody like yourself who has a lot of content online, then people are like projecting, oh, well, Peanut Butter Squammer is like, telling me this story.
I like it. You have not let go of peanut butter.
I
He's just
see
peanut
it
butter
as
in your
peanut
mind.
butter. What is it? It's Pretty Boy?
He just looks like if peanut butter came to life.
It did stand
You know
for
what
Pretty Boy. It does stand for Pretty Boy when I made it.
I mean? Did it really? I was kidding.
Oh no, that's really what it was. That's
He is
when
a
I
pretty
made it. It was
boy.
Pretty Boy Squammer. I
He's
was
a pretty boy.
Well, I made it when I was
Smash.
16. So
Ooh, what were you doing going on the internet at 16 calling yourself
18?
Pretty Boy?
that's what they called me at the bar I worked at. So,
That's not good.
well, whatever. Maybe it was 18.
Now we
I
are
don't know.
going to unpack trauma.
Well, that's,
In-
this
in
has
this-
become a therapy session.
Oh, Lord.
I will say, Lights Out did give me a lot of confidence in, because Jacob Morgan doesn't have like a crazy deep gravelly voice. It's just kind of very, I wouldn't say average. He's a good voice actor, but it's not something that's like unattainable.
Yeah, he's
I
not.
think,
He's not
which is
putting
why-
on like a. He's not in a sub-based dragon realm. Yeah.
No, and I think that's why I was like, oh, I could do. And then actually another thing that recently, I always get his name wrong. The guy that played Reed on Criminal Minds on one of the Quinn videos was like, "This is who we want to hear next," and I was like, "He has like a dorky voice," which is apparently what they
That's
want.
the thing.
So
You
I'm
want
like,
somebody that is like you don't always want. And I think that actually like I am narrating a book this week that hasn't been announced yet, but the mailman character is one of my favorite ones because his characterization is like in that, oh, he's like a guy. He's not like some crazy person that like is normal until you say the wrong thing about the woman and then he like shoves a guy's head into a bar because he's like so protective, or like he's constantly fighting a raging boner, which is fun and I love to read those books. But like he's the most like realistic mailman character that I've read, and I was like, oh, this is like a very different vibe. And I think that like both vocally and in characterization, it's nice to see that diversity and listen to that diversity. Just like I want to hear a man who can get like deep, I'm going to blush when Corbin King is like a dragon voice, like, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, it sounds so good.
Yeah. And I think sometimes the voice actors, and I've said this, and if he hates me, that's fine. But Aiden Snow was the voice actor for Riot in the first book of the Lord series, and he's supposed to be 21. And Aiden Snow sounds like a dragon. Like he doesn't sound like a 21-year-old college student. I'm like, because I heard him in that, and I was like, ugh. And then I listened to him in Carissa Broadbent, and he's like a 400-year-old vampire, and I'm like, no, this makes sense. Like he's commanding armies, he can destroy a city with whatever. That makes sense. He's not a 20-year-old kid anymore. Like. I thought the characterization on that one was not the best, but
far-fetched.
Yeah, I'm just like, I mean, maybe that's what he's like. This, I sounded exactly like this at 21. Like, what are you talking about? But
well, I think sometimes also there's like reality and what people are bringing to that, right? Like I've had this conversation before that you can be, like a 21-year-old woman and have like a husky voice, and.
But that's not what you picture.
Right, that you hear it,
So
if you hear Emma Stone or, Florence Pugh without knowing it's Emma Stone or Florence Pugh, are you going to think that is, when they started like in their 20s? Or are you going to think that it's... But I think that there is also a way that you can still have vocally a voice that feels deep and commanding the way that Aiden's is, and it can feel like youthful. I think sometimes what's challenging is that some of these characters are 21 but they're written like 40-year-old men, that like what they're doing on the page, so it is also like hard in terms of the way that they're like presented, because they're getting into very
I mean the Lord series is like said to be like a college dark romance, and they mentioned college like once per book ish. The first one is by far
the tone.
the most. Well, they all go to the same school. It's like, but they don't go to class. They haven't mentioned class once.
We don't go to these
They've
books
mentioned-
for the realism.
I know.
Come on,
I know.
pretty
Listen,
boy.
I like
Realism,
the
go outside.
I
go
like
get
the
in a
book.
real
Yeah.
school.
I'm not arguing. I like the
And
books.
they're on their way to algebra or whatever.
Although I will say there's a certain point where I was like, I like a certain level of realism because in one of the books in the Lord series, they're like, someone gets murdered and they're like, who could it be? But the guy that did it drives a one of four, like $5 million car and he leaves the scene in it. And I was like, oh no, how many people have this? It's like, well, there's Riot down the street and then 4 Saudi Arabian princes. Those are the only people that
I think it
own
was a
those
Saudi
cars.
prince.
So like,
I think
yes,
let's
it's
investigate
the
the Saudi
Saudi
princes
prince.
though, like because Riot
Yeah,
seems like a good
just-
guy. Like
yeah, Riot, the 21-year-old that lives here, or the foreign ministers like that. Yeah, whatever. It's just some of it. I'm like a little bit, but I'm gonna be talking smack. I should meet Chantel in two months. should be a little more careful.
you could cut it out in post where you shit talk
Yeah,
an
it's
entire book and narrator.
No, I love her.
I'm
books,
going to
so I
leave it
can't
in,
say
so I'm
anything,
not the
but-
bad guy as
No,
much.
I'm so excited to meet her. I love her books, but I think that was like one of the things I was like, okay.
I think there is a fine line between that level of realism and how it helps ground you in it and it helps take you out. Like there are sometimes that people can get really technical about how we're navigating consent and birth control, that sometimes like in scenes where you're just like, this feels like I didn't need this explicitness the way it is, of like micro details or something as simple as like a dinner scene, like if they go to a restaurant and sometimes like they're very, very detailed. But I've talked to authors about this before because I was like, sometimes the hardest things to narrate are like, and then we went to dinner and I chose the salmon because like I really want to try the salmon and I'm not in like a red meat thing. And I was like, why? And then like they're having a deep cry. And I was like, the hardest thing to write is a dinner scene because like how do you pace out the timing? Like you want them to be in a restaurant and you want it to feel realistic, but you don't like how long does it take to get your
They're talking
yeah,
between
exactly. They're like,
bites
so
and,
give us a break,
Are
lady.
they speaking with a mouthful?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, you get a pass.
Can you pass the potatoes, please?
It's like, well, I think writing wise, it's an interesting thought. It's like, I want this, but to get there, I have to have this, and no one cares about this. So I have to
Exactly.
figure out how to,
To add the minute details.
Yeah, I think it's a real challenge. I
Mundane
think it's very
details.
easy to forget, and this is why I enjoy being in the space and getting to meet more authors and stuff, is that like there's little stuff that like this that'll be like, it drives me up a wall, so annoying. And then you talk to the person who's actually doing the work of it. Happens to me all the time as a narrator. People say heinous things to me all the time, and I can tell that I'm like, well, you don't actually know about the business because the reason it is that way is like all these other things, or that's why it's so difficult. And
Right.
same for writers, that there are things that we're like, oh, this dinner scene, and they're like, writing dinner scenes, terrible.
Yeah.
Do you get hate?
I mean, I think everybody does to a certain extent, but it is less like, I mean, sometimes it's personal, sometimes it's just like, you know, I'd rather die than listen to another second of this person narrate a book, which is just like we said earlier, is like
Jeez.
nonsense internet stuff. But there's also stuff.
Well, that's just usually deaf people that don't actually hear your voice that are saying that. It's just such a
Steven,
great
oh my
voice.
gosh. No, so there's that, but then there's some people who just like want to hate on like a style, right? Like people, the dual versus duet versus the multicast versus a graphic audio. Like I just got tagged because graphic audio announced the graphic audio for Shield of Sparrows, and somebody had tagged me in the comments. And I was like, oh, it was great. Like, you know, it's a different thing. It'll be wonderful. But then because I got tagged in the comments, I got to see all of these people be like, thank God. Oh, the one that had just like a woman doing it. Just I wanted to die. And you're like, okay, let's calm down. There are a lot of things to get angry about.
Sexist language. Settle down, guys.
There's a lot to be this upset about. And I don't think it's that a woman solo narrated mostly a book. Like,
I would prefer a female to do the male voices over a male to do the female voices.
I think it's easier sometimes.
I think it depends. On
Sometimes,
which one.
though, I
it
take it back.
depends. Also, the real rough ones are when it's just by chapter. I don't know what that's called.
Like,
It's not
like a
whatever.
duel?
Like yeah. So one does one chapter, one does the other chapter, and it's
That's
like,
usually whatever the POV is focused on.
yeah. And the real rough one, I'm trying to think if there was one specific book. I think it was Rook and Rebel, where like he had an I don't know who it was on either side, but he had an unbelievably deep voice So she would try to mirror that. It was just, I was like, wasn't great, which isn't her fault. His voice was like 8 octaves lower than hers. Like, there's no way.
I did an Aiden
but...
Snow book, and I made the mistake of
Ooh,
being
yeah.
like, I'm gonna try to do my lowest Aiden Aiden Snow match, and I like couldn't. I destroyed my voice. It was the worst.
Yeah, the dude has a deep
Very
voice.
deep.
It's very commanding. He's very mystical.
Well, and you're never gonna get it
He sounds cool.
exactly right. So I think
No, God,
you have to just do. I think when you're mirroring each other that way, there are other ways that you emulate their energy and their cadence, and it doesn't have to be like the exact pitch, but you can be like, no, I'm giving the vibe. Like when I
like the way you say
exactly.
it instead of that makes sense. I'm gonna start talking like Steven now.
Like me?
Next
No.
episode 11, swapsies. You do
swapsies.
you do your best.
I'm Squamer, and I do.
Wow.
What?
I don't know. I can't sound like you. You don't have that high of a voice.
I was gonna say
If you want to be me, just talk like this.
just talk like this. This is we're gonna do an entire episode in each other's chosen accents.
I've never been able to do any accents, so the idea of doing your accents is just impossible.
I don't think I have an accent. Maryland just have accents.
Maryland, yeah.
Okay,
I don't think you
Maryland.
sound like you're from Maryland, though.
Mm-hmm. Baltimore has an accent, but I don't have that.
Minnesota has an accent. That doesn't sound like that.
It's great.
Yeah, it's close.
I think,
Is it?
I think not a single person
that's
from
coming
Minnesota
from-
is going to be offended by that. I think you should keep doing more of it. Put it out there. I think people are going to love it.
You know what? That's
From the mouth of the crow.
From the mouth of the crow. All right, gentlemen. Well, this has been a delight.
As the crow flies. Yeah.
All right, we are at an hour and 47.
Well,
minutes.
after we cut out her disappearances,
Oh
it'll
my
be
gosh.
30 minutes.
And all of
yeah,
Peanut
yeah.
Butter's hatred on so many
All of-
authors.
I love every author I've mentioned.
No, we
No.
didn't say anything. Yeah, we need to wrap this up. Last question, though. What's been your favorite podcast you've ever been on?
Not this one, but I can.
Good.
So
Me
The
neither. I've only been on one other
Smashcast,
one.
brought to you by
The Smashcast.
Peanut Butter and the Old Man
Home
in the
Depot.
Outhouse. Just come on down to Smashcast. We interview people. We talk about books. We talk to the bookers. Talk to the bookers on the Smashcast. Where we talk good. We talk good. Do it on Smashcast.
You know what? I'm going to just cancel my intro and put that as the
do.
intro
We talk
now.
good. You talk good. Smashcast.
This episode is brought to you by Home Depot.
We're gonna get you that
All right.
sponsorship with that alone. I hope.
We're going to get it. Watch it be
yeah.
Lowe's. Help me. Anyway,
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna get us out.
sing
of
us
this.
out, Squamer.
All right, I'm not singing. Not
No,
this
you don't
time.
sing us out.
All right. Well, this has been Smashcast. Samantha, where can they all? Samantha. I don't know why I said it like that. Samantha.
I'm sorry.
Where can they find you on
On
socials?
socials,
Everywhere?
I'm at Ms_Brentmoor on TikTok, IG, and Threads.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Well,
I'll put it in the description of the video.
will be in the description below. Follow us on all of the socials: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Threads. I think that's it. And then make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell so you can always know when we're posting. And dang.
And we always end with our guests just saying the word smash.
Smash.